Hello, hello. How are we doing? I was hoping to get into Cristiano and Mixu, but neither of them are online on the at the moment, so I don't know if I missed them in game one or what. Oh, Mixu just got into S2. Okay. Cristiano's not online either, so we're just chilling, guys. Okay. Well, good to know we didn't miss anything at least. Cool. I was gonna say, I mean, maybe they got started super fast on EU. I didn't really know. Anyways, hello. We're here for some WardiTV Mondays post Home Story Cup. I'm excited to get in and cast some games, basically. So yeah, we should be able to kick this off fairly shortly. Get ready to rumble. And cast some games, like I say. The Monday Cup on a Tuesday. Next week's going to be on a Tuesday as well, guys. I'm away this weekend, so I'll also not be streaming. It's kind of unlucky. After today, I'm not going to be streaming until next week, just because I am still around the next 2 days, but I've got stuff to do, and it just doesn't really line up. Like, if I wanted to stream, it'd be like way off my time, and it's just not going to be worth it to cast some replays and stuff. So today is going to be the only stream we have this week, and then next week we get started with WardiTV Mondays on Tuesday again. I know, very exciting for a lot of people. Yeah, so I imagine that's going to be the... Well, and never mind, I imagine that is going to be how it works. That is going to be what happens here on the stream. So enjoy today, and then we'll be back, like I say, next week on Tuesday, and then I don't know what we're going to do throughout July. There's not a lot of tournaments going on. There's not really a lot of tournaments going on, to be honest. Yeah, July's kind of a weird month. There's not a lot of other tournaments. What's upcoming in July? There's the Crank Gather stuff we could cast replays of. There's just not a lot of upcoming tournaments, basically. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a weird. It's gonna be a weird month. Maybe we do some OSC stuff if they have some events available. I know that mid-season playoffs are still ongoing, for example, so maybe we get to do some of that, perhaps. Yeah, I'm honestly not really sure, guys. July's gonna be interesting. Epic LAN? Yeah, I mean, not allowed to cast Epic LAN, obviously. It's too elite of an event for some simple Wardy casting. I'm talking about stuff we can cover, guys. We're not allowed to Congress go stream and all these other events. It's kind of crazy, though. Like, look, Peter's like RSL, Epic LAN, and like, that is it. It's very empty on the upcoming tournament list. Kind of wild. Yeah, we'll probably throw together a... I was thinking about what I want to... I mean, we're going to throw together the Summer Championship, so we probably do a Summer Cup. Did I actually already start scheduling some of this? Maybe I did. Oh, yeah. Apparently the Summer... Apparently the WardiTV Summer Cup's going to start next week, guys. So, there you go. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, that's easier. Apparently I already scheduled this. Yeah, I remember now. I was very tired in Amsterdam on Thursday morning on my way to Home Story Cup after a 5 a.m. flight, and I sat down on my laptop and was like, I'm going to be productive. So I actually scheduled up the Summer Cup stuff. I've just not made it yet. So yeah. We need a Wardy Offline event. Didn't we talk about a Wardy Offline event at his house? Yeah, I was thinking about doing WardiLAN. I was thinking about doing WardiLAN. In the end, I don't think it's worth doing. I think it's just too much. I think it's just too much money. I think it's too much money. I don't think we'd get the support needed to pull off the extra money. And I just think it's going to be a lot of work. I think it's going to... I think it's going to like be the equivalent of me like losing out on 2 weeks of stream time because I'm going to have to like put a lot of work into organizing and admin and that, blah, 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 blah. And I just don't think it pays out at all, unfortunately. And this year's already been pretty tough on the wallet, trying to run StarCraft 2 stuff just regularly like we normally do, so going above and beyond to put money into like an offline tournament for the sake of being stressed out just doesn't really seem like it's a smart move right now, unfortunately. Yeah, I did have the idea. I looked very heavily into it as well. I already priced it out and priced out like hotels and travel and all this kind of stuff was already sorted. I just we just didn't make sense. Just doesn't make sense in the end, unfortunately. Hi Ellie, you cannot have more of my lunch. It's gone. It's gone, bibs. Need a Wardy World Cup. Yeah. We just need StarCraft in general. It's kind of depressing talking to people. It's kind of depressing talking to people at Home Story Cup, and it's just like, you know, in the past, people are like dead game, and it's like it's not really dead because of this or it's that or whatever. But like now, it's kind of like there's actually nothing coming up or going on. Like the next big event that we have that people know they can go and attend is like Home Story Cup 30 in April. And there's just like so little hope of other things happening. It's a very sad time to be a StarCraft fan. It really is pretty miserable. BlizzCon, I mean BlizzCon's not really a StarCraft 2 tournament. I mean BlizzCon's the Blizzard Cup, which is a couple of show matches, which aren't even with current regular players. And the RSL finals, which is, you know, I love what RSL do, but the concept of playing the grand finals at BlizzCon when the prize money difference between first and second is $660. I don't know. Like this is like the difference in prize money is like half the amount it's probably going to cost to fly one of the players there, you know? It's yeah, so I mean obviously like RSL is happening and stuff, but this is also not, it's not like people can be like, yeah, let's qualify to BlizzCon, it's some awesome cool, like it's just not like that, you know? It's like I say, it's cool that RSL has the finals there, but it's not like some massive big tournament, so yeah. Wouldn't it be an idea if all the communities would team up to create a WCS circle thing? Yeah, I mean people talked about it, but that's not something that's easy to do. There's actually been a lot of talk about doing this, but I mean, I just don't know where you think the money part's going to come from. You know, at the end of the day. Yeah, it's excuse me. Yeah, it's the problem is like how do you just have like more than anything else, where do you get the prize money for the world championship for, you know? Like that is the biggest issue. Maybe the French guys take TV, the Chinese all together, but what do we, but there's no benefit from this. Like someone has to put up the money for finals, and if no one puts up the money for finals, then it's terrible. I'm not going to put money into a finals that's shared ownership with like 4 other people. It's a complete waste of money. Like You know? What if every English streamer puts in like some money to cast this finals? And it's even less worth it for me. I'd be better off casting the replays 2 weeks later. You know? It's yeah, the answer comes down to crowdfunding, but this is a horrible answer when you're trying to call something the World Championship and so on, you know? It's not really it. I mean, there's already tournament circuits, and I honestly don't think something like this is going to be any better than any of the ongoing circuits. Like there's a WardiTV circuit, right? That's going to have an end-of-year championship, but like... It's like, I don't think something like this is going to be, unless you get significant amounts of prize money, you're not going to suddenly make something that's just better out of nowhere. Yeah, it's pretty rough. It is pretty rough. What is also pretty rough is that we picked the matchup where one player just didn't show up, so always good to be always good to be having this going. So it looks like Mixu's going to get a walkover into the round of 8. Cool. In that case, I don't know what we're really going to go for. I guess we'll just go to NA and see what comes online. I'll see what happens. There's some other cool matchups. It's just they've already started now, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll go have a look. Main idea would be the storyline and the build-up over the year. But if you don't have a big grand final, no one cares. It's just the reality of it, I think. Any chance of me making an appearance in Loco's chat? Telling him the people from Finland are actually called Finns? You what? What's wrong calling Salva the finisher? This is something that people have been calling a bunch already. If everyone chips in, yeah, but there's just no... like, it's just not worth it. Like, who owns the World Championship? Okay, like nobody, but then like it's not worth it for me to give $5,000 to a big event if there's like 7 English streams. So who do you know, do I fight for like English exclusivity? Then it's just a bidding war. It's just not worth it. I may as well run my own thing. Like, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work, unfortunately. Cristiano came back? Okay, welcome back to Europe. I'll undo the walkover. Hey, what's up, Mike RS? How you doing? Stopping by for 5 minutes back break at work to leave the Prime. Have a nice day and tonight. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate you. Oh, it's just kind of a joke because on the fact that Loco maybe doesn't know what Finnish people are called, so he called him the finisher. I see. Man, I'm not friends with Loco. Man played on my account over the weekend, and that's all well and good. That's all fun and games until the dude lost to a 3.4k Zerg player. He, in the macro game as well is actually the crazy part. In the macro game, 10 and a half minutes. I guess that's not really a macro game in this day and age, but yeah, he got Loco tried to level up my account and he got beat up bad. Crazy. Losing MMR on my off race, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Unlike me, I grinded my MMR upwards. Reported. Yeah, you should report Loco for stealing my account. You guys want to see some true StarCraft fashion? Look at this. Look at this. The Home Story Cup grind. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. We lit up the match history with some greens. Yeah. More ladder games than you played? I'm pretty sure I played the most games out of anyone in that basement this weekend. I think the only people that played more than me were the people who got to the playoffs. Geralt? No, Geralt didn't play any ladder games, no? Geralt was playing TFT the whole time. Yeah, Geralt was... Well, maybe like day one he was playing, but after day one I'm pretty sure he was playing TFT the whole weekend. Will you watch Trap? Probably not, because it's going to be a PvP, and we're probably going to be in the other series that we're starting off with still when it starts, so... Kind of unlikely, to be honest. I'm kind of interested in Trap as well, like, obviously cool to see him actually playing a little bit more and stuff, but... Yeah, I don't, I'm not going to go, like, camp out a PvP. Just to see the guy, you know? Is Rory doing okay? Yeah. You never really saw him doing Home Story Cup. Yeah, he didn't get, he didn't want to cast. He just wanted to hang out, have a good time. Yeah, I don't think Roddy did anything on the mainstream this time around. I think he just was hanging out with people at the venue, playing some poker and all the rest of the stuff they do. Sad face. Why are we sad? It's finally StarCraft time, guys. Sorry for the delay. Cristiano was late. He showed up. We're gonna let him play. Mixu. The winner of this is probably gonna have downtime anyway, because they are already in the round of 16, whereas the other section has to play through the round of 32. As we kick this off in the bottom left-hand corner, let's begin with the Blue Protoss player. This is Cristiano, taking on the red Zerg in the top right-hand side, Mixu. Alright, a little bit of PvZ to start off the day, guys. Now the probe getting across. Hatch block is very powerful now. The economy of players is worse, and if the economy is worse, being forced to spend more time running around with drones instead of mining, it's going to just feel bad. You feel so poor on this patch. It's really, really noticeable if you've played a little bit and stuff. You really do just feel poor while playing on this patch. I tell you what, playing, like I say, I played a bunch of games, and the biggest thing to me that I actually find really crazy is just how bad the build orders feel. Like, I know stuff maybe isn't optimized and so on yet, but like, there is no good way to just Reaper expand as a Terran. You have to like cut an SCV, you have to delay with the barracks finished and not enough gas available. Yeah, you know, like you have to. There's so much just like. There's just so much like of the build that just doesn't click together. It feels really. I don't know if this was the case as well when it was on 6 workers. Maybe it was, but having had all of the builds that work super smoothly for like 10 years now, it feels so bad because it feels like you're playing the game wrong. Because you're constantly like, oh, I can't do what I meant to do at this point, and in reality, it's just like that's all you can do anyway, right? So yeah, the builds feel really rough, but the main point I'm making here is that you do just feel poor. So the hatchery block forcing you off over to the side is absolutely something which is just going to impact that economy of the Zerg player pretty heavily in the early stages, slow you down a whole bunch. we didn't have this problem with 6 workers or 12 workers. I feel like maybe it was a thing with 6 workers though, a little bit. I think one of the things that really is very visible though is that I think when they changed it to 12 workers, it's very apparent how much internal testing they must have done before they did it, right? Six workers was different because you didn't need to worry about depths. So you just play whatever without gas. Yeah, I mean, you just took the gas later and you just did... It's just different at the end of the day. Anyways, we have ourselves the Adept, just going to be hitting the Lings for a few moments. Ling speed is coming up. This Adept going to keep on poking. A couple of Lings pulled back. The Oracle, Adept both building up. Warp Gate on the way through as well. He's going to be having the Adept heading its way down to that bottom right-hand side. As we're about 4 minutes in with the Oracle popping soon to start putting some pressure on from Protoss outside of the Adept. Mixu comfortably just droning, and Ling speed will be done in a second, so Mixu will have those Lings with speed, able to shut down the Adepts a little bit more easily. Oracle pops out. The robot facility will be starting in the natural as well. And again, a couple of probes still built through. The Warp Gate is going to finish in just a few moments' time. The Twilight Council is also building across as the Crypt Spread pushes forward. Crypt Tumor pushes through. Queen just going to be hitting the Oracle, and we got a couple Queens together. Hitting this Oracle very nicely right now. The Oracle taking a bunch of damage. Again, 5 drones, Queen, Spore, all coming up. I mean, we get a couple drones. It's something, it's nothing major. We're going to go the melee upgrade here as Mixu as well. Typically still, you're enjoying the melee upgrade against Blink Stalkers. You're not loving the melee upgrade as much if it's charged on Archon. Let's see what the choice is from Cristiano with... It was obviously Rogue first. I mean, this is looking like he's probably Archon dropping as well, which is something Cristiano loves to do. He loves to go into the Archon drop. Cristiano build, or what would call it. But yeah, your Archon drop here. Melee is interesting in this scenario because it's not going to be like Storm straight away. It's also not going to be charged immediately. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, just Lings against the Archons is generally not a fun time because the Archons are going to splash onto the Lings, and the Lings' defense is, typically will struggle. But you do have the mobility to run around with the Lings, at least where the Roaches are a bit slower to defend against the Archons, so there's the positive there. And as you see, Cristiano just going to throw down his 3rd base already, so putting this down, getting this set up. We have ourselves a 2nd pylon coming into place. A couple of Adepts going to slip themselves between the pylons as well. Today is Monday. It is in our hearts. Yeah, obviously people traveling home from Home Story Cup yesterday, so WardiTV Monday is a delayed day. Next week I'll be traveling home still on the Monday from the weekend away, guys. So we're gonna have 2 Monday Cups on a Tuesday back to back. I know, very exciting. Very exciting. Falcons load back up into the prison. We're just gonna take ourselves over and put some pressure on. Queen's gonna start putting some damage out. And the Archons are going to be getting in for a couple of drones. 2 workers going down, going to make it 3. The few Lings threaten the wrap around. The Archons are going to lift off, pull back a little further also. I'm just going to see these Archons continue to push in. As the drones take about, 4 or 5 workers of damage so far. And Devs will continue to put some damage out. The Lings are going to run in. And actually going to try and get a grab on these Adepts in the next few moments. The Archons are going to fight. Going to see a Roach. Or 2 taking some damage. The drone's getting caught on that low ground. And again, the Ling Roach going to be there, actually. Oh, I thought he lost the Archon. It's super low. It's on red HP, so it's probably like 2 HP or so, maybe even 1. And it's, that Archon is basically dead, so that's a really nice, really nice save from Cristiano last second. It was midway through being about to say that Archon had died, and that obviously would have been a real disaster as Mixu fends this off into the missiles and the Roach speed now. The follow-up from Cristiano is to go into Blink, though. So he's going to go Blink, he's going to go Mortal. It's kind of interesting. I always feel like going Blink at this point is such a... Like, if you think Muta's on the way, sure, but I always feel like Blink at this point, you have to build up the Stalker count as well. Like, he's got 2 Stalkers right now. So if you want to make a significant number of Stalkers, that is a lot of tech, which is not going to be able to come online. You could just spend your gas on Immortals and Archons, and then you get Charge and you get Zealots. And obviously, you see the Roaches coming through. But like I say, you've got the Immortals and the Archons to make the Roaches not so good, so if you get some Zealots up in front, I'm just curious how Cristiano balances kind of the unit production here, essentially, in the next few moments. Archon still hanging out at the left side. Gonna see a couple Archons coming in. How much HP was that Archon, by the way? It was a 2 HP Archon, so it was super close to dying. And we'll now put pressure on this fourth base. Mixu is attacking, though, and there's not going to be Blink ready, but there are a lot of tech units. It would just feel a lot better if this Prism was back at home to help Micro as well. It's a lot of tech units, but hey, if the Immortal's up in the front and away from any static defense, I mean, Cristiano has not got static defense against this at all, so there's -1 Immortal, -1 Archon straight away, -2 Immortals now. Come back over to the left. The Prism is just flying home as well. No recall to bring it home sooner. I mean, it's taking these Roaches still a long time to finish off these units, though, and as the couple of extra Archons come back, the Prism being here again is also massive because of the Micro potential. That Immortal that would have died moments ago now is actually saved. Mixu kills 8 workers, actually preserves some of his Roaches, which I like to see because it means that he is going to have these to continue pushing with, right? So he can actually go for another wave of this attack more than anything else. Couple Lings trying to go through, not quite able to get through there. Roach Ravager going to come back around the right side. Mixu is going to throw another couple of Corrosive Vials in. Actually, he does land onto some of the Stalkers right off the bat. The Corrosive Vials landing nicely. I just don't think he has enough army to really, again, threaten through here, especially as +1 finishes for the Protoss in the next few moments. The +1 attack is going to be done. And it's going to start feeling a whole lot better as the Prism pulls out over to the far left. Ling Roach Ravager still all gathering together. You know, the attack upgrade coming through. Sorry, my words are not coming out of my mouth well at the moment. I will very simply say that. As this Roach Ravager still push it through. The couple Stalkers going down. The Archon still getting shot at as well. Going to go down. A couple of barrels hitting those Stalkers. Feels pretty rough for Mixu. I mean, obviously, your fourth base has only just come online. It's not mining at all. You've been cutting drones for this. He's still sending it on unit production, so it still looks as though Mixu just wants to full send units here with that Bane Nest finishing as well. We'll see if he just morphs in a few Banelings and he's just going to slow walk them in, or if he's going to even take the time to make Bane speed. He's going to get Burrow. Interesting. I feel like he's about to make drones. But if you make drones right now as Mixu, I feel like you should have made those drones like at least a little while ago, right? I don't necessarily disagree with the the droning up aspect, but sitting on 58 right now still is questionable. And you're not really. I mean, yes, you may be afraid of this army long term, but you're only really afraid of this army right now because you're choosing to be out on the map. Counterattack is good, denies the pile on the Robo. Forces the recall. This is really nice for Mixu because right now he is in the business of trying to... that force field's great. He's in the business of just trying to buy time. I think Mixu's in a lot of trouble. I think Cristiano is very close again to push forward onto the map. The only thing that may go well for Mixu here is that Cristiano, if he attacks right now, is essentially attacking into an all-in. Right? As long as Mixu sits on 58 drones and no saturation on the fourth base, as long as that is the case, Cristiano does not really need to attack. But the way the game goes, maybe Cristiano feels the need to attack. Depends what his identification on that fourth base is. Hive on the way up, so it's not like Mixu is not teching at all. It's just, like you say, he's teching up, but like there's just so much more to it. Let's see if Cristiano attacks. If he doesn't, then Mixu is going to feel the need to attack into Cristiano because he's now maxed out. Stalker stepping over the right side. Immortals here. That one Immortal is absolutely doomed. Made it even easier for the Zerg as Cristiano just out of position, chasing units away to the right. Going to give access to his natural. A couple gates go down quickly. We drop a last-second force field. We do see some Zealots at least across the map, which is nice. These Immortals putting in work right now against these Roaches. Stalkers have Blink as well to chase if they would like. We eat a ton of corrosive bile damage here. Not ideal, and yet still Cristiano's army is just very powerful. Now he is going to start losing probes. Those Lings are in. Just continue warp Zealots in across the map. Obviously shows the confidence of Cristiano at home as well. Which is true. I mean, Mixu's already left and gone the other way at this point. Lost about 8 workers. Does need to rebuild the wall off. Just make sure that's going to be less of an issue long term. We're still right-clicking this hatchery with a few of the Zealots, which is good enough for the kill. A few Zealots will evacuate in the Prism to the corner. Yeah, I mean, at least we started Adrenal Glands off the Hive, but I'm not sure if that's everything we really wanted out of here. We didn't get a single Spellcaster out, for example, so we're not going to get any aid there. It's literally just the Adrenal Glands. Now, Mixu comes in again, denying the fourth base on this right side one more time. We need a few more Corrosive Biles onto the Immortals. Yeah, no fourth for Cristiano, but no main base anymore for Mixu. Of course, he only has the drones for 3 bases of mining, so I guess he just saturate the 4th base location now instead. And I guess his income will remain pretty steady to what it was. He is going to lose the spawning pool and the adrenal glands. The one thing he got off the hive, or was trying to get off the hive, didn't actually come through. So that entire infestation pit and hive tech investment so far has been unnecessary. It has not achieved him anything. And the only reason Mixu is not kind of completely dead is because he did deny Cristiano's base, and Cristiano has also been out of position a few times as well. You can see this Roach Ravager stepping forward, a couple of roaches on the right side gathering up. It's going to dive through for the pylon, the robo facility. Going to go down as well. These few extra probes going to go running. That's nice. Don't get me wrong, killing all the roaches is nice, but now you're completely blocked in. Do we have any force field on the high ground? That would be amazing just to stop these roaches, and then we can just play the kill, because it is going to be a little awkward right now, chasing up your own ramp. I don't think it really matters, but yes, it gives opportunities. We've eaten a lot of corrosive biles at this point too. We lost an Archon in the previous set of biles. It's not pretty for Cristiano. It's not pretty, but he is going to, like I say, kill everything. And killing everything is pretty darn valuable in the grand scheme of things here. A few more of these Ravagers going down. The roaches at the front being pushed back as well. Celts and Stalkers and the Archon still gathering up. Queens, Roaches, Lings continue to produce through. And yeah, Cristiano defends. Like I say, it's messy. He's only on 20 workers after all of this as well, but he's walking across the map with almost double army supply. And I think that's going to be more than good enough. A lot of tech units alive here as well, right? It's not like this is the drips and drabs of like gateway units that we have left over at the end. It's Immortals, Archons in very good numbers, and I just don't think we have the swarminess to take those down anymore. As Cristiano is going to get the job done in a very entertaining opening map in this best of 3. Drones are going to pull away. I mean, if Mixu could survive long enough to let the economy advantage kick in, then brilliant, but that is seeming obviously less and less likely. GG's, and Cristiano is going to take game number 1 of this BO3 to start off the day, just like that. Alrighty guys, just going to have to run some ads. Games are a little bit longer on average now, so we have to run ads between every series, so... or between every game, sorry. Even if it's just, I mean, this was a bit of a longer one. Trap did 2-0 led Alex, so Trap going to play herO in the round of 8. Percival 2-0 Rex is going to be playing in the round of 8 against Classic or Starbuck. Nightmare is going to play ByuN, Perceive or Camo. Apparently Perceive and Camo are still playing, so they usually take a while. So yeah, some action here early, guys. As we get ready for another game very shortly. Lobby is coming up, guys. We'll get into this in a moment. I'm gonna have to tab out a little bit in this game, guys. I gotta do something on my PC. I'm trying to buy tickets for something, so the queue is gonna be up in a minute. So you guys will have to watch the start of this game on some on this. All right. Countdown. Mixu Cristiano game coming up. Thrusting game. It'll take a couple minutes to get sold anyways. Cristiano up by 1. I miss. Thank you so much for the 17-month resub on the Prime. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. I'll throw the indie cam on, guys. Like I said, I'm going to have to tab out, which does mean it's going to be a little bit FPS laggy. So apologies in advance for that. Why does it say Monday? Because the tournament is WardiTV Mondays. It usually happens every Monday. Just because it's a Tuesday doesn't mean we change the name of the tournament. I mean, we either delay it a day or we either delay it a day or we don't run the tournament. So, and you could call it WardiTV Tuesdays, but then it is part of the Monday series. So, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I shouldn't have called it WardiTV Mondays. I don't know. I liked WardiTV Mondays. It sounded much more excited than bringing the WardiTV weekly back. I don't know. Everything's called a weekly. And again, everything's called a Monday lately as well. There are 2 Mondays this week. Yeah. What's more important? The WardiTV Monday Cup or years upon years of people using Monday as a day of the week? Yeah, I think the WardiTV Monday Cup, guys. I'm going to tap out for like probably just a couple minutes, guys. While I try and buy these tickety things. So again, I apologize for the FPS dropping off for the next minute or so once it starts. Just, you know, streamer advantages, streamer privilege. I can, you know, stop stream. I can do personal stuff during work. It's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. Sorry guys, give me a minute. We'll get back to it. So I guess back with you momentarily. Typing things. Are they done? Nearly done. Like I say, apologies. I'll be fully focused after this. Just can't control the times or other things that happen in the world. We should have done WardiTV Mondays plus 1 hour. You know? That's where we went wrong. We shouldn't have just done it on Tuesday. We should have done it on Tuesday and an hour later. Crazy business. Alright. We're good. As you have, the Oracle has come in and been a pretty big deal. 28 Lings and 4 drones dead in this game. We lost 3 Adepts, but it's a lot of units from Mixu that have gone down as he continues to put a lot of pressure on. He's committing heavily here. He's down about 10 workers, and these Lings continue to run over. I mean, we might eventually get this 3rd base, but I don't think Cristiano should be overly upset by this. Like, yeah, you have to cancel the 3rd base, but the investment here for Mixu is extremely high. And he's still making Lings and Roaches, so you try and re-expand to the 3rd, but the main thing is you don't over-defend it, right? So you can see this Oracle moving out again, the Roach is coming up, a few Ravages going to morph in, extra Gate to the Forge, and the next one's still coming through as well. Did I get signed Wardy shirts? No, I don't have any extra Wardy shirts to get signed. We had this idea too close to going to Home Story. Even sent me a PayPal message. I know, but I couldn't read my PayPal because it doesn't show up on PayPal. It shows up on my Stream Elements message. So I have no way to access my Stream Elements until I got home because it's like blocked. So next time there's a tournament, though, I'll look into it more. I just didn't have time to order any shirts to get signed or anything, though, you know. There's these Archons are going to be a big part of this defense. I mean, obviously, Feelings slip up into this main base, trying to see what's going on. Playing for the 82-month reset, by the way, mate. Appreciate it. And the donation. We're going to see a couple more Zealots warping in. And they're going to go swinging at those Lings. The Archons, I honestly think the Archons need more than good enough numbers to play defense here, but supply is very good for Mixu. He's going to go back toward this 3rd base. I mean, it's very important now that he does deny the 3rd, right? Like, if Cristiano has the 3rd base live through this, that feels very difficult to kind of get through afterwards as Mixu. That battery would have been amazing to see if these Archons probably would have done. Okay, I think Mixu is getting it done. There's only the Immortal and a super low Archon that remains. We're desperately in need of, yeah, the battery to heal the Archon up and give it some shields again. Roach Ravager Queen still firing away. Another couple of Biles coming down. That side core is about to fall. Roach Ravager continues to come through. Another corrosive Bile dropping down onto the probe. Now the Pylon also going to be taken out. Again, to see this Roach Ravager still stepping forward. A couple more corrosive Biles. Pylon gets killed. The Archons are still trying to fight here. The Immortal as well. Microing backward with these units, and the Roach Ravager still coming in. We are going to drop the Bile down towards the units as well. I think Mixu just has too much. We don't have the support, I think, mostly, to kind of keep these Immortals and Archons alive. Like, the main thing is, originally with the Prison Micro is looking okay, but as more units get here for Mixu, if you're always taking shots on the tech units, it's very difficult, right? Now using the Pro to defend. Good Micro picks that Archon up just before it took the shot that would have killed it. Mixu is still sending it into the natural, choosing to break through instead of killing off the 3rd base. I mean, obviously he still believes right now he can pull away and kill the 3rd base at some stage still, but at the moment, Cristiano continues to hold, actually. Stars are going to charge up. Archons are going to be fighting the Immortal. Going to be shooting through as well. The Roaches, Ravagers continue to push on in. We're now going to see that first Archon going down. And the units from Cristiano still applying pressure. Roach, Ravager, Queen still poking at the front. The Lings gathering through. A couple more Biles coming over. The Zealots are going to get there to get the Queens. Defense. There's a point here where I thought Cristiano just, when he lost like the 2 Archons pretty quickly in the natural, then I was like, oh, I think he just can't hold on at this point. But he protected the other 2 units very well. This Archon must have done work this game. 14 kills. What's the Immortal on? 17. Like, these guys have been putting in overtime, especially considering it's not even been super. Okay, it's 129 Lings dead, but like a lot of Roaches died in this as well. Roach Ravager heading down that bottom right side. A few more High Templar warping in here. More Archons obviously means we have a better chance. This is where not killing the 3rd base feels terrible as Mixu. Because now you're pulling out into this position, you're like, oh, this 3rd base could have been dead already, you know? Corrosive Bile, Prism has to step back. The Zealots are going to come charging forward. One more Bal goes in behind the Archons. Those Archons chasing the Lings run through, getting in after the Probes and the Zealot. Well, actually, Zealot first. Probes will be on the follow-up. What a crazy defense from Cristiano. Did Mixu do anything wrong? I mean, I think he should have killed the third Nexus before running into the natural. I think this is just always a benefit, because then, even if you kill the third Nexus, you almost always give yourself options on the follow-up. Whereas if you don't break the natural, I think there's much more chance of you killing the third and having a follow-up a bit further down the line than any other kind of situation here. Yeah. That was a hell of a defense and a hell of a pushback from Cristiano. This was a good game. And Cristiano against Mixu. As Mixu, like I say, maybe just a little bit of an awkward approach at one point there. And let's just have the Archon stepping through. Queen the Roach is going to get chased away. And we continue to just push this back for a couple more moments. And that will be that. Cristiano is going to take game number 2 of this best of 3. Alrighty, guys. Gonna get to our next one here in a few moments. Yeah, let's figure out what we want to go into. Classic Percival. It's Classic Percival already started is going to be the question. Very likely, but let's go have a look. I saw the lobby bits bugging out. I'm not going to get that in time, am I? Nope. Messed up. Missed it because, yeah. Korean server bugs out every time. It's so sad. Alright, Shin Cristiano? Let's do that. Let's do Shin Cristiano, because Shin is just, I guess Shin was already done. Alright, let's do Shin Cristiano then, guys. Easy. Yeah, they're ready to go. Can we watch hero games? Yeah, Percival and Classic Guardian game, it was the hero game I tried to jump into just then, but yeah, they're already starting. We'll just go Shin Cristiano, guys. I don't think we have much of a better choice. Alrighty, guys. Yeah, just waiting for Shin and Cristiano to video up, and we can get into that and go from there. It's going to be the plan. Sorry, just waiting for games. Just sorting a couple things out quickly, sorry. Cool. Cool. How's everyone doing? Yeah, we're just waiting for Cristiano and Shin to video, and we can get this back on track. Cool. Alright guys, we'll take a little bit of time here. Like I said, just waiting for Cristiano and Shin. As soon as we've got them ready, we will send this. Hopefully very soon. Hello, WardiTV. How about trying to comment football? Don't think me commentating football is going to get many viewers. I just got a feeling. Just got a feeling. Alright, we're readying up. And we're going to be underway for the Shin Cristiano round of 8 match of today, guys. WardiTV Mondays 94 on a Tuesday, just for good measure. And let's get into some more StarCraft. After this, we'll be probably looking at semi-finals already. A lot of protos today. We'll see if some of them get whittled down in this round of 8. Can we designate Larumbo as the official WardiTV build name, but... No, I'm too old for Larumbo's build names and stuff, man. Like, you can tell he's the generation below me or something. Like, it's crazy. Kids these days, man, the freaking fidget spinner build. Ay. It doesn't even feel good to say. It's just like fast mothership feel. Usually, the point of naming builds is it's really fun and like you can like say it easily. And I don't know. I'm getting old, man. I don't believe in calling it the fidget spinner build. Then again, my last attempt to name a build order did not go well either. Nobody called it Starclaves. You know, despite all these years, it's still being a build, so it's still only me. Still only me. Alrighty, guys. So we are gonna get ourselves going. I mean, it's early game PvZ. It's gonna be a few minutes before anything happens, but that gives us all the time in the world to sit and talk to our wonderful audience. See how you guys are doing. We can sell out as well. I'm not in much of a selling mood today, guys. You know, it's a one stream and then I'm gone for a few days again. I don't know if today has the seller passion. Maybe we'll mention the Patreon later on, but yeah. Next coming in, pylon at the front with the gateway coming down as well. Where am I off to after today? Nowhere for a couple days. Just tomorrow I have to go and do a couple of appointments and stuff, which unfortunately just lined up with the timing of the Kung Fu Cup, so I'm not going to be able to stream that. And then Thursday is my grandmother's birthday. And then on Friday it's Helen's birthday, so we're going to London for the weekend. So, yeah. So yeah, double birthdays this week. Like I said, just been lucky. It's like come back from home story, and then like I say, just is this week, but it's okay. When we come back next week, we've got a bunch of StarCraft getting lined up as well, so starting to work on that too, and we'll have more info for that a bit later on. I'm just going to be nibbling at the battery for a couple of seconds. Well, Deb's going to be shaving through that link speed, finishing in a moment or so. Queen, a couple more lings on the way. Deb's going to get in after a drone already. He's just going to see the drone getting picked off. The lings still chasing forward. Well, that's the drone's pulling in. It's going to be 3-4 workers killed. Bit of a disaster early for Shin. That's a lot of damage taken. This entire main mineral line not mining as well, so significant damage early on. And a lot of lings now made. Link speed kicks in. There's no more depths for them to really do much, you know, with or to. I mean, they can threaten across the map, but we'll see how successful that turns out to be. I can't imagine there's going to be too much opportunity for them going to the other side. Oh, flies in. Queen already putting some damage out. The Adept still holding on the wall for a few more moments. The battery coming up behind everything here as well. The Adept is going to fall, and we just have, again, Robo Facility time. Probably Council continue to come up at the moment. Don't do too much at the front. Temple Archives and the gates on the way. Cristiano doing the Cristiano thing so far. No surprises there just yet. Again, just going to see the road drone, the drones and the overlords coming about. Next is Temple Archives, the gates and the prism continue to go on by. Prism just heads over to the right, then the Oracle and the Lings moving as well. Let's see. Obviously, the Oracle wants to protect the warping of High Templar and the Archon morph. That's why the Oracle accompanies this and escorts this across the map once the Archons are morphing. This Oracle deems that it's safe, so it's just going to back away. And a couple of Archons will pop, and we'll get this ready to rumble as we jump into our Prism and get moving in the next few moments. Lots of Deadly Donkey Kid. And nice to meet you at Home Story Cup as well. Yeah, always nice to see everyone at Home Story. It's nice to still see new faces at Home Story as well, because I especially feel like over the last couple of years, there's been like less new faces and more people who've just like been to a lot of home stories at this point, right? So, you know, still nice to see people, but always nice to see, like I say, always nice to see, like I say, not necessarily new people because, you know, you're a 21-month sub, but people have not met in person before. Archons don't do much. Shin's defense is spot on for the first few moments of Blackrock here, taking his 4th base on that upper left-hand side. Not right in the far corner, though, rather taking it kind of in the more forward position. Because the upper left is not a full base, right? Yeah, this is only a 6-patch, 1-gas wonder. So this is the next real base kind of along here. So Shin takes that for himself. As the Prism pulls over the side again, +1 missiles and the roach speed still coming up. The infestation pit coming through as well. The adepts get caught pretty quickly. They'll still be able to target down a couple of drones. They get 3, trying for 4, not quite going to get there. As that Prism comes back around this way, the Archon's inside again, going to move forward once again. Roaches and Queens taking some shots. Swarm hosts on the way, +1 missiles and the roach speed coming up as well. I looked hungry through the entire cup. What, June Home Story Cup? Man, you guys, a Twitch chat enraged Helen this weekend, apparently. Helen was apparently ready to fight, or actually did fight so many people in Twitch chat. Yeah, people have this real obsession that I just have a very neutral face, and especially at Home Story Cup, you're not talking all the time, right? Because the couch has a lot more people on it than usual. So a lot of the time, you're not the one that's directly interacting with the other person talking. You know, and especially, you know, say I'm on the couch with 2 pros a lot of the time. Like, for example, I cast with, like, you know, Lirimbo and Uthermal or Lirimbo and Sebesdes and stuff. Like, these guys are having a back and forth and discussing things. Like, you know, my role at Home Story Cup in this sense is to, you know, keep the casting on point and kind of going along if as needed. But if there are 2 guys that are discussing the ins and outs of the games and the intricacies and the, you know, all of that kind of aspect of it, then I am not going to interrupt them. You know, when they're already very naturally talking and, you know, giving you guys a good cast, right? But people take that as me, especially when we'll just, like, go to the shot of 3 of us on the couch and they're talking back and forth. I'm just sitting there and, like, I'm not gonna, like, smile and, like, excessively nod along, like, wow, yeah, great. People just, like, man, Wardy hates being there. It's, like, it's the craziest thing. people are like, man, yeah, Wardy hates being there. It's like, bro, guys, you have no idea. Like, I just have a resting face that apparently looks like I'm not interested. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, yeah, people would say I was angry, I was annoyed. Like, honestly, there was only one point during the ZVZ between Sarah and Reno, I actually had a bit of an upset stomach. And obviously that interview with Sarah, that was the series that had the shit, that was a bit of a shit show of a cast. So I was actually very distracted during this series because, like, my stomach felt really bad, and I was like, I didn't know if I was going to have to, like, stand up and leave even. And then we, like, got to the interview and, like, they were asking tons of questions in the interview. This was the one time all weekend where I didn't want to be on the couch because I felt sick. So, yeah. Crazy. No one honestly thought that. Apparently enough people said it that Helen had to fight everyone. I also have, Helen has created a list of people who shit-talked on the Take TV channel. And if any of them dare to talk in this Twitch chat, they're getting banned. So, so yeah, Helen has a list. So yeah, if you were chatting shit in the Take TV stream this weekend, you're not safe here. What can I say? Wife is in full defense mode. Post the list. No, I want them to show up so we can call them out live, you know? More fun like that. Axis Talk is warping in, charging the mortal coming through. And it's going to be seeing the defense from Cristiano turned out to be okay. The Swallows did, obviously the Swallows have had some success. We killed a next and everything. The army right now, Shin is in trouble though. And we've got a bunch of Storms available, and this is the moment where Cristiano is going to be feeling quite strong. Where the Swarmhosts are once again counterattacking the third base. The third base is going to die on your minimap, so the third base is gone, as you can see. But this push, because especially now the Swarmhosts are on cooldown, this push has so much potential. Yeah, those rocks going to go down, means you have to attack in from the top side, but Shin's going to lose at least another base here. I refuse to believe that this army doesn't push in for at least this hatchery. Shin agrees. The thing is, once you get past this base, you have even more open space. The only thing that's going to slow you down here is Cristiano is this next wave of locusts. This next wave of locusts is going to make you probably back it up a little bit. Unless you can get good storms on them. If you can storm them nicely, it's actually... Well, I actually don't think this is a good moment to drop the locusts down because you've just lost the hatchery, right? So actually, this is the moment where the locusts are least likely to see success. What we're going to dive on, we're just going to commit in. They do absolutely nothing. Well, now we just break down these rocks and we just move through, no? Cristiano might just swing around the right side and kill the base over there instead. Knock down one set of rocks, knocking down the others. Like I say, this next base from Shin, I mean, he's maxed out, but he's not going to have a lot of economy to work with. And while Cristiano's only on 2 bases, if you reset the Zerg to 2 bases, that's pretty nice. It's a horrible fight, though. You're fighting through the chokiest position you could be. I actually wish he just knocked down the rocks from above, or either I wish he continued to attack through here, or knock down these rocks and attack in here, because that's a lot less chokiness to kind of run on into. The Swarm Host counterattack again, which means that once more, there's just not enough here to protect, and while the Swarm Host may do some serious damage, is it going to be worth losing everything on this side? I kind of feel like no. Because we're getting to a point where if it's only Swarm Hosts and Locusts, there's just never going to be enough defense. I mean, we kill probes here, but we don't even kill the base. Cristiano blinks in the natural. He has enough 1-0 lead over Shin in this opening game. There you go. All right, we're going to head into game 2 here in a couple seconds, guys, as Cristiano gets the opening game. Trap 2-0 herO to advance into the round of 4, by the way. He'll play ByuN on Nightmare, so Trap has knocked out herO. Crazy, man. Like, when you go back, like, Trap is one of the players who's actually won a WardiTV Monday as well, which is a crazy stat because that's not something that a lot of people did. He won WardiTV Monday 10 back in November, just before he quit playing. But, like, Trap played in, like, I think one of his last tournaments was, like, WardiTV... was like one of the WardiTV... Let me just like you like him. Hang on. Let me just have a look. Just easier like this. See, if you go back to Trap, some of Trap's last games in 2024... Yeah, okay, he played the Christmas Eve games. And then he played, like, a WardiTV Monday Edition 13. He lost to a laser 1-2 there, but, like, he was, like, one of the players that was contesting with Clem a lot at the time before he quit and stuff as well. Like I say, he won a WardiTV Monday. It was against MaxPax in the final, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Crazy. Crazy. Where's my Monday thing gone? Just disappeared. Yeah, the one that he won was impressive. Trap against MaxPax. WardiTV Monday is 10. Trap went through MaxPax in a 5-game series. He 2-0'd ByuN, he 2-0'd Clem, and he 2-0'd Gumiho. Like, he was playing really well then. And this was a little bit before I think PVT was completely out of whack as well. Like, this was, you know, over 1.5 years ago. So, yeah. Alright, count down. Guys, don't know why we're fighting. Chill. Mention people getting banned, and then people are like, I want to get banned. Chill. Don't need to fight. As we jump into the top right-hand side, it is going to be down a game, the blue Zerg player. This is going to be Shin. As in the bottom left, our red Protoss is going to be Cristiano. How would I feel about them adding a few more units to the game from StarCraft 1, like Reavers or some such, since they are shaken up already? May as well go all out. Yeah, I mean, new units would be great, but I have zero faith in any balancing to be done around anything right now, so yeah. Honestly, I think new units would be super fun and exciting and amazing, but my entire belief and faith in any sort of balancing system or people that are currently balancing or making changes to this game is an absolute all-time low. Like, yeah. I've actually never felt worse about the game, unfortunately. So, Honestly, I would love new units, but I would hate the process of them being added. Because I just don't even know if we do it correctly. That's rough, honestly. New units more for exciting the meta than balancing it. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, changes are fun, man. Like, the new patch is fun. For as much as I've complained about the new patch is fun because different is generally good. Especially as a viewer, different is typically good, right? For me personally, the 8 worker change zapped a lot of the fun out of the new patch, though. Because I still think we've seen zero positivity come from this 8 worker change and the economy changes. And I also love as well how the gas change literally just killed Clem in a TVZ the other day in the finals. That game on Rainfall, Clem should have had like so much more gas, but because we just decided to yank the gas out of the game, Clem just runs out of gas sooner than ever before. And it's like, okay, cool. You cannot trade with the Zerg. Your win condition that's existed for years as a Terran no longer works anymore. That's, yeah, it's kind of funny. Casted at Homestory Cup, we'll watch another stream come back 3 minutes later. Man, I watch people playing games of StarCraft 2 and they were tapping out and playing other games during the first 3 minutes of the game. Like... Like it's just silly. It's just silly. The warp gate thing is still the most horrible. But I mean, the warp gate thing at least is fun to play with, no? Like, there's a lot of Protoss players who have actually enjoyed testing it out and trying things out and figuring it out and, like I say, playing with it. And it's actually been really good for PvT. Horrendous in PvZ. And it's also not the change at all which we needed to like help PvT or anything like this, but like it's still a fun and interesting change. Is it correct? Is it completely balanced? I don't honestly know. I don't think it is in PvZ necessarily, but you know, we're still figuring things out. But at least that's fun to test out and watch and see differences in, right? So yeah, I mean, I think the biggest issue still just stands is these changes have not targeted the correct things, basically. I think we actually just had a healthier meta if you go 2 patches back. If you undo this patch, the Storm patch, and the Energy Recharge patch, I actually think the game was better, which is crazy because I never thought I'd promote going back to like Battery Overcharge. But I think that's been better than that patch that introduced Energy Recharge. Energy Recharge did change a lot of things positively, but we've taken no action on the issues that were existing from there, I think is the problem. Yeah, I don't know. There's just no direction or consistency or anything, you know? Why hasn't the patch been reverted yet? I'm copiuming that they're still using this as a testing period. So, yeah. Like I say, changes are fun. That's just... I really think these changes came with a lot of negativity around them as well, unfortunately. You think I hit the nail on the head when I said ridiculous pros can go to 8 base without any fear, but at the same time Terran's being able to stomp 8 base pros at 4 base? Yeah, no, I mean PvT's a messed up matchup. Like PvT makes no sense in the grand scheme of how SE2 has historically worked, you know? Like, okay, like trading super efficiently into someone who camps and turtles out, but I think TVP is in the absolute worst state it's been in a long time, and the last patch did nothing to actually improve this, you know? Because it actually just exacerbated the problem, which is that if Terran can win in the first 10 minutes, amazing, and that's super good for Terran, that's what they aim to do. And if they don't do that, then the game becomes horrific. Only now you actually took away a lot of the Terran's later game options as well, because of the Ghost nerf and stuff. So now you're just making Terran even stronger when Terran were already good, and even weaker when Protoss was already good. So it's like you're just, instead of fixing the problem in TVP, we made the problem worse. Which is kind of insane. Honestly. I think PvT has been one of the absolute most talked about matchups. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I'm hoping for more changes because I don't think this is it right now. And if it is it, then it's fine. It's not like the game is completely unwatchable and stuff, but it's again that feel that we could be watching something even better if we approach the right things, you know? But I think all of these changes targeted the wrong things at the end of the day. So, but yeah, like you say, change is fun. So, if nothing else, yay for change. Actually, you know the craziest thing is? This load all button on Medivacs. I was explaining this to Helen yesterday. I was like, it's one of these things where I didn't know if I was just being like, once again, like a hater or being negative, right? You know, I have oftentimes opinions which are maybe a little extreme and like, I'm like, you know, I like the skill expression and this and that, whatever, right? You know? But, so I didn't know if I was just being a hater or something or being negative. Then I played a bunch of ladder games this weekend. Nah, this button's insane. Like, this button literally makes me look like Clem. I press it and all my shit loads up into Medivacs instantly. It's like a literal MMR buff for Terrans. Like, it's actually crazy. It completely takes away, like, a skillful thing that was skillful to do, and it only benefits Terran. Like, Protoss and Zerg do not need this button, even though it's on Overlords and Prisms. It's crazy. Actually crazy. Like, yeah. It actually just makes Terran easier to play. Actually wild. But to me, that's like a core thing of SC2, right? Where, like, at its core, SC2 is a skill-based game, and there's loads of different ways to be skilled. And no two players are the same, right? No two players have the same strengths and weaknesses. You know, you can be in Diamond 1 and have horrific macro, but goddamn is your micro or your build order super clean to the point that you can win enough games to be at that level, right? You can, or vice versa, your macro can be great, but god, if you have to, pull off a timing or defend a timing, you fall to shit. You know what I mean? Like, no two players are the same in StarCraft 2. You can even see at the very highest levels, like, certain players do things that in their own way. And the button takes away a little bit of that skill identity, I think, overall. So, yeah. There's a reason we kept talking about it, because it actually is probably one of the biggest buffs out of the entire patch. And it was listed as a QOL change. Yeah, it's just too good. It's just too good and it's too easy to use effectively, basically, I think. Yeah. Well, happening in game 1, Cristiano dealt with Swarm Host very effectively and basically got up to one big army that pushed across the map, and Shin just couldn't quite clear it out. It was very, like, Cristiano was going down to 2 bases, nearly even 1 base at one point, but he just had the one big army that could push, which is pretty much always your issue with the Swarm Hosts, as these Phoenix do deal with the rest of these meters. Storm +2 on the way up from Cristiano. We are going to see Ling Roach Ravager. Bane is working its way to the bottom side. So Shin's maxed. He wants to fight. If he can hit before Storm is done, this is going to be terrifying for Cristiano. Banelings rolling in with no Storm on them. Have a huge amount of potential to get damage done here. So that is looking very hopeful right now. Shin's going to get this 4th base to begin with. The corrosive bar's going down on it. The Bane's going to start rolling through. Like I say, Storm is still not done. Noise +2 attacks. This really is a great timing window for Shin to be attacking in. He is going to find himself the best moment to fight, and he possibly could. How good is the actual fight in the end? Oh, what a stasis. Catches a bunch of these Banes that could have maybe broken down the static defense. You break down that static defense, maybe this becomes a bit better. Now it's scary because Shin obviously gets chased away. Cristiano's going to have to be careful. When those Banes come out of stasis, if they turn into that mineral line, Cristiano could lose a lot of workers if he's not careful. So has to keep on top of that. These Banes are going to be freed in a second. I think we can just run them. Oh. Okay. I mean, he just rolls them into the cannons. This is fine too. At least we get something out of the Banelings. It's pretty much what they were going to do before they went into the stasis anyway. Shin is maxed and moving to the other side of the map once again. herO Travager is going to come darting through. A couple of these Stalkers going to get picked up a little bit. And the herO Travager coming about. That Storm coming down. Eventually his probe's taking damage. The Bane's going to come rolling again. On the left side there's a High Templar. It has to morph into the Archon. That's kind of a big deal because it means you're not going to be able to Storm with it. It does look like Shin overwhelms this time around. And it's just going to be seeing the Phoenix lifting the Ravager. Stalker's blinking through. This Nexus is going down. And that is going to be pretty much it as Shin sits 177 to 89 supply. Playing herO Ravager, playing cleanup, and shutting this down. We haven't seen a pickup button make a huge impact on overall tenor in MMR. Well, I don't think you're going to see it. You're not going to see it at like a high level because the high level Terrans can already pick up very easily. And while it is still a buff to them because sometimes what they can do in half a second, they can now do in like 0.1 of a second is going to make a difference if you're caught out of position or in a bad fight momentarily. You know, it's still going to help. It's not going to maybe make the MMR difference. I promise you that this, if you use it correctly in the low leagues, it's absolutely going to win you games compared to before. There's multiple points this weekend where my entire army walked away from a fight that it had no right ever leaving. Because usually what would happen is I click on all my medevac's and everything dies because I'm terrible at picking up my units. And now I just press X and I fly away. It was cool. Save 50 supply that I don't usually save. Like, you know, go me. I got so much better at this game. It's crazy, but yeah, it really is a thing. I really do think, especially the further down you go, if people actually use it, it's a significant buff, honestly. Good seeing you too, Pi. Good seeing you too. It's still finicky. Yeah, but I mean, you're basically pressing a button to save everything. Like yeah, okay, it's not going to be perfect, but like it's essentially a get out of jail free card. It's the Terran's recall, you know. So yeah, maybe it's not always good to use, but when it is good to use, it's incredibly good to use. And I'm pretty sure anyone lower than Masters 2 will instantly have better pickups using this button than trying to just pick up normally. Thing's insane, honestly. It's actually wild. Top right at blue Zerg is going to be Shin. Bottom left at red Protoss is going to be Cristiano. What's up, Screaming Waffles? Thank you so much for the 33-month resub. On the highest level, it doesn't make much difference. I don't agree with this. I think it absolutely does make the difference on the highest level. Because now, if you get caught in a fight that you need to react to quickly, it is realistically possible just to lift and leave where you would have lost everything before. And we saw this multiple times during Home Story Code. I think it has least impact at the highest level, but it is 100%. Like, I mean, I've talked to all the top Terrans about it. They all think it's crazy good. They like they all think it's insanely good. Like, and when the Terrans are telling you something's really good, it probably is kind of busted. Yeah. Like now, okay, say you're dilly-dallying over here, la-di-da-di-da, because I don't know, it's pretty. And a massive fight happens over here with your army. you can lift your entire army by pressing tab tab X, right? Oh look, my entire army. What? Oh, my army's safe because you don't even have to look at your army to do it. You just see on the mini-map there's a shit ton of units and you're in trouble. Tab tab X, bam, your entire army's safe. This is impossible before. Pool's going to arrive early and Cristiano has to pull the probes. However, the pylon goes down. It's going to be an issue. The Lings don't really want to fight here, I don't think, because ideally it's better to keep these probes running after you for longer to deny mining time. Speed coming through, the drone, the queen coming up. We've got a couple Lings. It's going to turn around and actually going to get a probe in the main. So that's nice as well when you've already forced a lot of lost mining time. No gas mining currently from Cristiano too. Things being slowed down for him and clearly impacting the entire setup right now. As Cristiano just did not know this was coming, and hence that is going to be very painful for him. So Shin is able to drone up nicely out of this. He's going to overtake workers with the next round of drones. Which at 30 is very powerful. And the Adept is currently boosting out of the gateway. We're going to throw our Twilight Council down over in the corner. As we do have no Stargates, just straight a Twilight Council here for Cristiano in Game 3 of this series. Balance coming down, the Twilight Council finishing very shortly. The Adept and the Warp Gate continue to come about as you do have 12 Lings and that Zergling speed finishing as well. 5 extra drones continue to come about. And the hatchery is again about halfway done. Third hatch coming up. Stalk and Warp Gate coming over as well. These things are going to run forward. I mean, there's a wall off here, but the first Adept is actually in a bit of an awkward spot, right? Like, there's a lot of surface area on Adept 1. We're going to kill it before the shade goes off. Not really worth, I think, the Lings attacking these pylons. It's just a very awkward wall for Cristiano, obviously, as Shin does get supply block loose, and this Overlord has 3 more on the way. Did that Overlord see the Twilight Council? I mean, what Shin is going to know right now is that there's obviously not been a Stargate. He's still seen no Stargate unit at this stage. Now it's just a question of like, oh, did I throw you off so much the Stargate's not here? Or, you know, are you actually going for something beyond this? And he's just going to throw down 6 gateways. So it's going to be Glaives with 7 gates. The Roachron, incredible in this situation from Shin. Roaches will do a lot of heavy lifting in this upcoming scenario. Almost definitely. And it's going back down to the bottom left-hand side. One Ling going to come over to the right. Here we're coming through again. Resonating Glaives is about halfway done at the moment. As I'm coming over again, Resonating Glaives, Dark Shrine, all coming through. The Roach is still coming over, Overlords as well. Vegetable warp in, move around that bottom right side. And the Lings are in, so it's not great. Gonna drop the recall down, bring a bunch of the Adepts in the prison back home, but now you know exactly what's going on in Shin as well. The information gathering here is through the roof as we can get a couple more probes, a couple of the Adepts going down before Glaives is done is always going to be nice. These Lings are dead, so they're just going to hold position for a few more workers. We get to 9 workers killed here. Very effective play from Shin and Cristiano. The delay now on this Adept, I mean, he's warping an Adept at home, and he's actually got Dark Shrine ready to go as well, so he's going to try and throw some DTs into the mix. There's a Spore Crawl on each base. We'll see how well Shin defends, but it's going to be a lot easier being, you know, having some extra time given to himself by this counterattack play. Yeah, a few more Adepts warping in. Yeah, I think we're going to have Shin looking for a semi-final appearance in today's WardiTV Monday Cup. Adepts are going to shade one more time, moving through. That person going to be sitting overhead. Roaches, Lings, the Ravagers. Back into the Sender Prism, going to set up. A few Adepts going to get warped in. Cristiano might be a bit dead, guys, as the Roach is going to step over. The Adept's going to be here. Just going to see those Roaches still fighting those Adepts, which are going to shade into Corrosive Biles. Lings protecting the Ravagers. I mean, you're away from the Roaches, which is kind of nice, right? You kill Lings pretty quickly. You're going to get a couple of Ravagers here. Biles the Prism down, so there goes your Warpins. There's no nearby pylon to help out with this either, so... You got a couple drones, but I mean, we're needing serious damage, because right now you're at threat of just dying to the counterattack as well. Wiz is going to nibble through both those Adepts going down. The Roaches and the Ravager coming across there to keep on fighting. The Adepts still swinging onto this hatchery as well. Roach is still going to get that. Again, that is about to finish. The drone's still producing. A couple of Adepts are still pushing their way in as the Roaches, the Ravagers just going to be there. 12 drones have died from Shin, but he's replenished them. And he's continuing to drone right now. With the army that he has, he does not need to make more units, so he can focus on droning if that is his plan, which just seems to be the place. Adepts will push forward and get a few Roaches. And the Queens just gather up. Guys are moving around. Again, the Immortal and the Probe coming up as well. Third base finally starting. I mean, Shin is at 58 drones and ready to send it with units, I think. I think you can probably just send it full time if he wants to right here. We're just going to get that chase after a couple of those Adepts. Adepts are going to shade into this left side base. And the Roach is going to be there as well. The Prism is up into the main. Spore Crawler able to get some good damage out. Prism taking a lot of shots already. And Shin just defending well still at this point. There's not really much else to say about this one, guys. I really think Shin is going to be attacking soon, and that attack is going to be looking great. And that is kind of just the situation. Prism comes over, a couple of Adepts are going to get that too. The drone's already going down. The Adepts will shade straight away. This third base isn't looking noble. The thing from Shin is all you have to do is kill the third. So you don't have to fight into this. You just have to battle the choke point and kill the third base. Obviously, I think he can attack into this, so it doesn't really matter either way, but like... Yeah, I mean, a few more battles going down. Adepts and Immortals getting chased out of here. GG is Shin, 2-1 into the semis today. And it done in a 3-game series against Cristiano. Alright, still... oh, we actually do have another semi-final classic. 2-1 over Percival, so it's going to be a Shin classic. Semi-final is going to be an all-Korean semi-final as well, with Cristiano being knocked out. So, yeah, we go into Shin Classic. We'll start that one right away, guys, because it's the first one ready. Trap versus ByuN on Nightmare will come up afterward. Alright, jump onto Korea, guys. Get ready to go. Beautiful. Trap's playing again, yeah. Looks like Trap wanted to play a bit after WardiTV Cup. I'm so happy to be wrong. I said I didn't think anyone from WardiTV Cup was going to make a return, but Trap's playing some games. We'll see how much he ends up playing, obviously. But already happy to be wrong, to be honest. any players coming and playing StarCraft right now is good / exciting. Alright, so yeah, Shin Classic will come up as our first semi-final, guys. Obviously, the other match is going to be either ByuN or Nightmare against Trap. So that's coming about as well. Alright. Yeah, we're just waiting for Classic and Shin to be vetoed, guys, and we'll get ready to go. We'll run some ads just while we wait and take a few moments. Why no Archons into Zerg? Because he was super dead. Because he was super dead off the start and he got even further behind on the follow-up, so... You can't afford things that you can't afford at the end of the day. Can't afford things that you can't afford. Simple as that. Alrighty, guys. Can't afford core scout vision. No, probably should have just scouted. Probably should have just scouted. Do 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 do. Cool. Alright, like I said, just waiting for Shin and Classico. Get this going. Fear and Faith going to be our opening map. Fun map, actually. Excited to see what we get into with that then. I'll get this going in a couple of seconds, guys. Do do do, boom boom boom. Alright, counting down into Shin vs Classic. So ByuN and Nightmare are still playing. Let me see if I can actually find something about what is going on there, because I believe it's on the Korean stream. So maybe we'll get just a quick update on that while this is ongoing. 1-1 between ByuN and Nightmare, trying to save us from PvP in the upper semi-final matchup. We're going to start off in the bottom left-hand side of the map with our Blue Zerg player. Will he be able to keep the ZVP trainer rolling? He is going to get cross spawns for this. It's actually interesting because I feel like that's probably nice for Classic in a way if he wants to play a longer game. Obviously much worse if he wanted to be aggressive, because Shin can't also be aggressive here as well. Or as aggressive as if it was other ways. And it's going to be Shin in the bottom left-hand side with Classic in the upper right. Game number 1 of our best of 3 semi-final, guys. Away we go. Well, first pro moving out. Obviously, scouting early is going to be a big choice. Notice that Classic is scouting around, kind of onto the map initially here. That's interesting. I guess because he just built the gateway, so he's not near the thing. We had this discussion the other day where is it faster to then scout like from here over here if you're just checking naturals? I think the answer is absolutely it's faster. In this case, Classic will be getting to the main via the worker tube. In fact, we're going to have a worker passage in the tube. Oh no! Oh no! Blockage in the tube, guys. There's a blockage in the tube, I repeat. Ah! Warfare in the tube. Right, okay, we're gonna have to put up some signs. We can't have workers starting fights in the tubes. So it's just not safe. You can't get rescue squads into those tunnels. We're gonna have to figure something out there, because that was pure dangerous gameplay. As the early puller Shin is going to kick, so he should be running across the map here because he's going to see top left nothing with the overlord, bottom right nothing with the drone, so he goes straight across the map. Now obviously Classic gets a scout on this. It is not the fastest possible scout, but it is still a scout, so let's see how much Shin can get done. Just going to see that chrono boost on the Zealot there for a couple of moments, just chrono boosting that Zealot out for a little while. Just going to see the Zealot is swinging for a couple moments too, so getting into some action. Ling's going to run up. The Probe's going to pull in. Uh-oh, Proby's in some trouble as the Zealot's getting as well. 2 workers. Doesn't really feel like it's enough from Shin. He's obviously on a late hatchery and the rest. I mean, to be fair, Classic is also here. Nexus cancelled and... is it not cancelled, sorry, but Nexus Field's kind of late too, I guess. Yeah. I still don't know what to make of all of these exact openings early in the game. It's obviously a lot of different timings and a lot of... 2 drones in the past patch does not mean anything near as much as 2 drones in this patch, for example, right? So there's still a lot to be figured out in that regard. Let's get the drones back to mining. The Queen throws a little inject down. Another Queen on the way. We are going to have this counterattack that's pretty typical of, defending against this pool, and then you get to go across the map with the units that you made defensively to put them into work a little bit. Do a couple Lings. We're going to go and tap up those couple of Adepts. Just going to get into the Zealot. Coming around for a second. Full Queen's going to be there. Push that Zealot back to the other side. So again, chase that away. Adept just going to shade through. Again, Oracle on the Warp Gate coming up. The couple probes are still building. Link speed and the drones continue to come up as well. Oracle heads across. Shin going to keep a couple units out on the other side, but Classic already throwing that third base down. So he's going to bring this third straight into play. Twilight Council coming up, the Oracle and the Warp Gate coming up as well. Queen, Overlords, and the Hatchery continue to come through. Two Oracles going to sit together, and Twilight Council about to finish. Our Nexus will be done shortly. Just going to see, and there's two Oracles still heading down to the bottom left to see what else is going on. The Forge coming up as well. Oracles going to get through. 4 more drones going down. Nice catch in that natural of getting a few drones there. So those Oracles getting put to work. I'll cancel over the side again. Forge coming up from Classic to enable some upgrades. And going charge, which is always going to be, it feels good against a melee upgrade from Shin, because those Lings are not going to enjoy having a bunch of Zealots and typically then Archons as well to have to play against. So that card definitely looks very good on the side of. The Protoss player. So like where Classic is going to right now, getting set up into a comfortable place. The Temple Archives coming through. A few additional gateways are coming online. The charge and the +1 continue to build as well. We just have our lair, melee upgrade, all continue to produce drones and Lings on the way out. Hatchery building on the 4th base as well here. For a few more moments. And we'll shoot Oracles, take some more damage. The Adepts are going to get in again. A couple of the drones continue to fall. 3 workers go down. The Queens are still going to chase into that corner. Adepts taking damage once more. The Lings looking to run forward here, and the Adept is going to go down. So Adept falls. Oracle's hanging out over to the left side again. Storm coming up, Charge and the +1 both coming up. These few Lings actually going to go back toward the upper right, so again, going to make their way over for a little while. See what else is going on. Runs into a mineral line that's going to be pretty well protected. Yeah, there's Oracle put down. Stasis is going to finish. A couple of Queens are going to fight straight onto that Stasis ward. And Oracle's just going to pull back away into the main base a little further. Queens will be there. Oracle's is going to get pushed around. It's going to be seeing the Lings still running through. Cannon and the Zealot's going to be there. A couple more of the Zealots stepping up. Those Lings getting chased away. Storm has finished up now from Classic, so we have that Storm available. Spire coming by as well. Let's run in. A couple of Zealots just going to get caught. Again, the Few Meters are still continuing to come up. Carapace and the Roach Speed coming through as well. Shin. And get into those music, but with Phoenix already being out here, it is looking pretty good for Classic. Like, okay, he didn't have Blink straight away, but he's going to have Blink soon as well. Just don't see these Mutas doing as much damage as they're really hoping for. Plain and simple. We saw a second Stargate as well. That means if you double down on the Mutas, it's even easier to deal with the additional Phoenix production. And if not, you throw the Fleet Beacon down, you're just tacking into the next stage of the game as well. Two Phoenix will get rid of this Overseer, and the Oracle's just going to be hanging around there as well. The Muta's still gathering up. So you see the Mutas, and we'll do as much as they can. We keep hearing Archons morphing in as we get more AoE kind of added in, more anti-air as well. Shin is coming across the map with a lot of Lings right here also, trying to see what else he can maybe try and do. Phoenix going to continue after those mutas. Ravager's coming over. Roachling going to gather up. Those rocks going to be in some trouble. Continue to push through. A couple more storms coming down. The Roach is still taking damage. The Lings are still trying to run through as well. Those Lings trying to get a wrap around. The cannon will fall. Bunch of these probes going down as well. Ravagers up in the skies. Again, the rest of these Archons hitting forward. Phoenix lifting once again. Another Corrosive Bile coming into place. Actually, he's taking a lot of damage. Shin is going to lose everything here. And his supply is still up by about 20, but it's going to be a lot of streaming kind of low, cheap units, like 17 Roaches in production. He lost everything that was, not that he had a lot of tech, but the Ravagers are the techiest thing he had. He lost all of those. And Classic might just have a shove across the map here to just go and kind of finalize things as Classic puts on a defense and is going to start pushing to the bottom left-hand side. Mothership on the way. +2 attack upgrade halfway done already. Robo facility building to the Lings. Want to run in already. There's also going to be there. And do lift off the Ravagers. A couple of those go down immediately, so already removing some of the incoming tech. Storm is nice, but it's not exactly super effective against Roaches. Now the Lings come in from both sides, and Classic actually ends up getting caught here. It's going to lose a few units on the recall. Mothership on the way, going to be a big addition at this point as well very shortly. Archers, Ravages. Continue to come over. Phoenix is going to throw a couple Corrosive Biles down. Going to get that Phoenix already. Roach Ravager continue to peel over. You're going to see the Banes crashing in for about 13 workers as well. Classic's still going to be looking good in the middle, but he is going to lose a ton of economy. 32, 33 workers going down. Zombie Settles, just going to be seeing the Lings running across the map. We are still kind of even in supply. I still like where Classic's at, but losing a lot of economy does reset you a little. Slows you down, although he is heading into the later game tech as well. This gets killed. The Zealots and the Stalker still looking to come across too. Again, Phoenix and the Oracle coming down the bottom. The Lings will gather up. +3 attack, +1 air weapons coming up as well. Have that group of units. I mean, Classic moving forward again. Shin is immediately there on the counter-attack, so staying on the counter so far. He gets a Nexus, I think that's nice. He's also rolling on the right side again. This Nexus is already down, so killing this one again would have been amazing. Doesn't get there, though. I mean, again, like that Shin is throwing this around him. He's now starting to get Corruptors up, so he's starting to get a bit more of an answer coming into place as well at the moment. Phoenix lifting up a few Roaches. The few Zealots are going to get there. These Roaches continue to drop. 26 Lings, the 9 Corruptors, the few Overseers coming about as well. Oracle just going to get rid of a couple Lings. Stalkers, the Archon's going to come over. Hatch taking damage. The High Templars looking to get into the front. I'm just going to be seeing the Infestors looking to throw a couple Fungals down. Shin needs to find the answer to this army right now, because it is right here, and it's looking dangerous. A couple feedbacks came down. We dropped a Fungal. That's not going to do too much. The Time Warp is baited out already. I say baited, I mean it's still useful, but it is going to mean that it's gone in a moment or two, and then we don't have that available any longer. The few Zerglings already running through. That cloaking has to expire shortly, as we are going to fly in with the Corruptors and the Banes rolling in as well. What is the outcome of this fight going to be? I mean, the Corruptors look like they're going to win in the skies. Does Shin win on the ground? Classic also has a ton of money to spend. He warps in 8 High Templars and 2 Immortals back at home. Shin does not have the same amount of money banked, but his rebuild is not going to be anywhere near as serious, and he still has Stalkers in his natural, which is not exactly a good sign. Yeah, this is I think Classic on the rebuild in general, like the High Templar warping in seem pretty good, but the fact Stalkers obviously stay alive here is a pretty big deal as well, as they work their way through the Queen. The Overlord's taking damage. Lings, Ravagers continue coming around. We're just going to blink forward onto the Ravagers. These Stalkers continue to trade nicely. Well, it's going to be a hatchery fall. I mean, Shin's advantage is the work count, but that's not going to matter if you're down hatches, and of course this army never gets cleaned up as well. Two more carriers. The mothership's still coming over. He's going to see a few Zergs in the top left, surrounded by a handful of Zerglings as well. Stalker emits itself down towards this bottom right side. This hatchery already taking damage. They are going to finally kill off these final units of Protoss, but then, like I say, Classic has a lot of rebuild coming up behind this as well. The effort to knock these Phoenix down is kind of hilarious. I mean, we're going to get there. Like I say, I just don't see Shin ever having an army to compete with Classic's rebuild at home. And Shin seems to agree. Classic will take the opening game here of this semi-final matchup. And Classic is threatening the PvP finals because it's already a PvP semi-final on the other side. Nightmare and Trap are both in the semis on the other side of this. That will be coming up after this Classic Shin. Game number 2 or 3. If Shin obviously brings it back. Let's get into this one in a few moments' time. The Overhaul Massacre costume in the game? Yeah, I mean, he was never rich, right? I don't know, though. Like, I know you had to build a bunch of OVs, but I just don't think that creates enough supply for him anyway. Even if he kills those Stalkers that were left at the end, I still don't think he's in a good enough position. Like, I think Classic's rebuild at home is always going to be more powerful. And maybe those minerals make the difference of him cleaning up those Stalkers that were left over. I just don't see it carrying over to him being across the map, you know? In number 2, as we have in the bottom right side, the blue Zerg, who is fighting for the non-PvP final today. Down a game for the second time in a PvZ today is going to be Shin. Bottom left red Protoss will be Classic. Some of our new music at the start of the game. Help keep us entertained through these early minutes. Match coming up. Next coming by. Probe going over, and the gateway, and the next continue going about, assembling the pylon, continue to build through. But we'll finish in a second. We get ready to go. Track Nightmare next. Yep, we will do semi-final number 2 after this semi-final one. Trap has been playing a bunch, by the way, guys. We were watching his match history in the Home Story Cup basement the other day on EU. He played like 40 games in a day, so he's been grinding, to say the least. He has been grinding. Patreon segment initialized. I know, I'm just not feeling the sellouts today, though. Sag. It's okay. We'll bring the sellout segments back next week. Because we have a Proby heading down and around and just checking to see what's up, playing here on Rorschach. Obviously because that gold based in the top central position. So that's something that Zergs always think about. It's much more likely Shin gets to a position where he can take this gold base in Classic well. Next coming in. On the third base, can I have a Void Ray up as well to help us out a little bit here? Bringing this straight over. Void Ray gets the Overlord. That is going to be a supply block from Shin. Void to the upper left again. Forge, Stargate, Nexus all building through. A couple of probes on the way out. Spore crawlers and the drones building. We're actually building another Void Ray here as Classic. And a second Stargate too, so we're just sky tossing it straight from the get-go. Alright. Sky tossing it is as the lair comes through from Shin. Drones and the Lings on the way. I feel like I shouldn't talk over this music because I feel like something epic is about to happen. It's really building the hype for when we get past the early game. There's a fleet beacon as well, so Classic is just straight up going sky toss here early. This is more than just the mothership, obviously, with the second Stargate, the Void Ray production as well. Interesting way to play. I mean, this map, you can expand away for the fourth base as well, so that might help him with the idea of, you know, deciding to go into this. Well, it's going to activate. I mean, this is nice if you get cancelled on this fourth base, but the Queen show up. I don't think Classic's going to be able to stick around with those Void Rays there. drone's dead. Next on the bottom side. So we're actually going to go to this blue gold base. This base is really interesting. We saw this in the game of Solo Clem in the finals of Home Story Cup on this map, but I actually think this is one of my favorite kind of uses of like the mineral pathway or the worker only pathway, because this base is actually really hard to sit in front of and defend, right? So it's a very hard to hold base in that regard in some ways, but it's also hard to attack into with like a full army, right? Like, because if you attack in here with the whole army and you get trapped in here, the only option is like drop the main base or you're kind of screwed, right? But because you've got this little worker pathway, you can consistently evacuate workers out and then bring them back through when the threat is dealt with. I kind of really like it. It's a cool way to kind of make a base that otherwise probably wouldn't ever be touched. It's very cool. Like I say, a very different vibe to normal. So I like that. Is you can see the Lings trying to wrap around here, but the Void Rays show up to play defense. Always pulling back around to that bottom right side. The Void is going to activate into the main base, going to hit this lair. Just show up. I'm just going to be seeing the Void's recall back, but Lair's down. Voids have been very effective so far here for Classic. That gathers again the few Voids. And you'll see the air weapons coming up, the cannons and the battery coming through as well. Voids in the mothership gathering for the moment. I mean, don't really know where we go from this Shin. I guess you just gotta try and set up into your spellcasters, corrupt account, and just take this approach. I mean, the one good thing right now is we don't have Storm, right? So Classic is Stormless. As such, like, you know, corrupt account is good, but we saw this in Max Back Stolen in last week's Monday Cup. You can't just go diving in with corruptors all the time here. Sometimes you do need to kind of have the additions as the Zerg. You gotta respect. You gotta respect the air units. So it's just a very smart denial. Both bits extremely powerful if you let it come up. Denying this just makes so much sense. Now the corruptors are gonna fly in, but we have the recall to get back home. So the Void Rays go unpunished, and it means the Corruptors are chasing the Voids, which means they're not caustic spraying things as well. Fifth Nexus will come down in the front. Please no back to Sky Toss. It's funny we never saw any real Sky Toss stuff in Home Story Cup, right? We saw like a couple longer games, but it wasn't really super Sky Toss focused, if I'm not mistaken. But a lot of the top Protoss players who obviously haven't played the Classic and Max Packs have been really big on the Sky Toss kind of approach instead. And how's the trend to use the Wardy Void Ray sound? The Wardy Void Ray sound's gone, man. It was on our old audio setup. And also, like, they added sound effects for everything in the game now already. We're not going to need Wardy sound effects any longer. Now, I feel like the Archon is like enough to carry everything, so we're just going to activate one of these Corruptors. This is why we can't just run in with the Corruptors. Void's actually going to do fairly well against them. They come back in on the while recalling, they get one more Void Ray, but again, denying this gold base as Shin is going to be a big positive. Oh, sorry, as Classic is a big positive because Shin absolutely wants that location. You always need Wardy sound effects. Personally, beg to differ. You don't play the game, how does Void Ray charging work? Prismatic Alignment is just an activated ability. You click it, and it just activates for a set amount of time. It's on a cooldown, and basically gives bonus damage to armored units. So against Corruptors, it's really good. It doesn't charge up per se like Void Ray is used to and stuff. It's just a click-in attack ability nowadays. It does slow the Void Ray while it's active though, so it's something which is good for fighting, but very good for if you have to like micro back. Not very good if you have to micro back, puts you in some trouble. God, I hope get Sky Toss being the meta. I can't wait for there's no better meta complaint whining that happens than when Sky Toss is meta in PvZ. I think it riles everybody up. I don't think like the Zergs hate it. I don't really think the pros love playing it. People definitely don't love watching it. It's Sky Toss meta would be chef's kiss for getting the complaints in. I'm going to move up around the top. Void's going to activate onto that hatchery. What's the cooldown on prismatic alignment? It's quite long, actually. Like, it lasts a long time, but I think it's like... It's very close to a minute for the full cycle. So I think it's like, if it lasts 15 seconds, the cooldown's like 45 or thereabouts. It's pretty lengthy, to be fair. But like I say, when you activate, you get a good chunk of time with it as well, so... Interceptors will fly through. Spores begin to get knocked away at. I see if Fungal does drop down. Shin obviously going to have to rely on some of the spellcasting here to help him out, I think, is pretty much a necessity at this stage. Nice Fungal coming down. Classic trying to poke forward. Broodlords are here. There's not a lot of stuff on the ground. It's just the High Templars, but obviously the Storms are something you're looking to rely on a little bit here as Classic now that you have them. There's a couple of High Templar left. He dodged back nicely there and gets a good Storm onto the Corruptors in Time Warp range as well. Parasitic Bomb coming down. 22 Corruptors on the way. Classic already killed a base, but how much further can he go? How much more can he still get out of this situation? Feels like quite a bit is still available to him here as continue to settle by at the moment. I mean, Corruptors show up. Classic really does seem kind of fine though for the moment, like I say. Looks as though he's going to be alright thus far. Got a couple bases. Slow Shin down a lot in terms of rebuilding. Classic has 7.5k, 3.5k banked, so his bank account is booming already. Looking extremely comfortable there. Very difficult for Shin. I mean, you are super behind on the bank account. You've got less workers. Army supply lead is just a necessity, you know, as a Zerg in this scenario as well. So even that is not exactly like going to be like, okay, well maybe the army like just necessary. What's the Archon toilet? Back in the day, back in Wings of Liberty, the mothership had an ability called Vortex. And so basically what happens is you would put a Vortex down, and anything that went into the Vortex basically got like sent to the... I don't know, it disappeared for however long the Vortex lasted for. So everything would go into the Vortex and would disappear. When everything came out of the Vortex, everything would be like super clumped, right? Like everything would come out in one specific spot instead of spread around the whole area. And basically what happened would be if you hit a Vortex on all of the Broodlords, you would send all of your Archons into the Vortex, because when everything pops out, all the Broods are completely stacked on top of each other, so the Archons splash and insta-kill everything. And that is the Archon toilet, because you flush everything away, but when it pops out, the Archons clean up. Or something along those lines. Yo, what's up, Man in the Moon? Thank you for the 63-month resub. As Classic just recalls up into the main base of Shin. Shin can't fight this, guys. I mean, maybe he can fight it, but like, he's got to do so much to overcome the downsides of this situation right now. He is eating Classic massive parasitic bombs. He's going to drop these storms down. I mean, he's going to have to storm on top of his own army. Classic supply should plummet here. And this is definitely him getting a little bit caught in this main base, and he's going to try and recall a few carriers out. Shin has to go. I mean, okay, Shin did wipe the entire army. And he's going to run up to the top side, just going to jump onto these cannons. A few of them start to go down. I mean, Shin has basically no income left, right? His base count is significantly hurt. He's got 34 drones only, but he has over double the army supply, so there is a chance. As Classic desperately tries to rebuild into carriers, Shin makes a few more brews, but he's also getting some more Corruptors, and most importantly, Vipers, more Spellcasters up and available as well. I just don't know why Classic stuck around in that main base, or maybe didn't have the recall available or so just yet. Sorry guys, sneezing. Why is Shin waiting for Classic Army to remax? Yeah, I mean, he should go ASAP, I guess. I guess he really felt the need to rebuild some Vipers and stuff before he went. Kind of agree, though. This really felt like as good as it was ever going to get for Shin. But yeah, I guess he was also bruised, and if you run into reinforcements and like going across the map doesn't guarantee you're just going to kill him, because Classic can run around, Classic can give him a bunch of bases, so I think it makes sense for Shin to also take a little bit of time here. Reset a few moments. Does Mothership recall a separate cooldown to Nexus? Yes. And the Mothership recall is an ability on the Mothership. It is completely separate. So you can Mothership recall in, Nexus recall out. Or you can use the Mothership as essentially a second recall out if, you know, depending on where it's positioned, of course, as well. A lot of dead sublime broods. Yeah, I think, obviously you're able to zone the High Templar a little bit, but I kind of agree that, honestly, he even made a couple more broods at the end of it all, right? He's got 17. I mean, the broods put pressure on you to maybe think you need to fight as Classic. You're going to need a fungal growth here. Time Walk goes down. Time Walk's pretty big. Does Classic have a way to fight through these Corruptors? Classic still has money to spare. He's going to start another round of carriers, which is pretty crazy. But you do have a couple of Neural carriers in the mix as well. That's a big deal from those Infestors. Army supply is going down, though, from Shin, and it looks as though Classic is going to make his way through. Classic's also targeting the Broods. If he kills all the Brood Lords, then he can warp in Stalkers, although he doesn't actually... Does he have any gateways at all? He has 3. Okay, he was just targeting Broods, so I thought he was trying to make a play, but he doesn't really have anything to follow up with, so I don't know why he was targeting Broods. He probably could have gone after more Corruptors. Doesn't matter, GG's. Classic is going to make it an all Protoss top 2 today as he knocks Shin down 2-0 in this semi-final matchup. Alright guys, Trap Nightmare will be able to go right here. Okay. I'm getting Trap Nightmare in a few moments, guys. Too many Broodlords. Yeah, I don't think he needed as many as well. At Eternity's Edge going to be the opening map. We'll get into this in a sec, guys. PvP coming up for the rest of the day. WardiTV Mondays are back! Thank goodness. It was really scary having a Zerg win last week. Ugh. Crazy. Crazy. Who are we missing? I think that's everybody. Cool. Game number 2. Sorry, series number 2, semi-final number 2, ready. Let's go, gets cold. GG. Trap and Nightmare in the semi-finals of a WardiTV Monday. Didn't expect that one, but here we go. Top left-hand side, we're going to kick things off with the red Protoss player. This is going to be Nightmare as we enter our second semi-final of the day. If you win the air without Broodlords, you could die from Stalker Max. Yeah, but Classic has 3 gateways. I think we have to play into the situation. Maybe he doesn't know Classic only has 3 gateways, but I think with the way the game went, it's not a terrible assumption, especially when you've got to make plays to win the game from a bad position. You've got to take some risks. I think you just got to risk dying to Stalkers in this scenario and just hoping he didn't get that set up. It's not like this was a game that opened Blink into Skytoss. It was Skytoss from the very start. I think it'd be kind of crazy to be setting up Blink and a ton of gateways for the eventuality of, oh, I might make some, you know, some Stalkers as a follow-up here eventually. So I think the Broodlords, like I say, easier to say from our position that it's a mistake, but you don't be wrong, like, Broodlords are nice because, again, they force the fights a little bit because they put pressure onto the bases and structures. They do hit the High Templar, but yeah. Not enough to be impactful this time around. Or too many to be impactful this time around. Needed more of the anti-air in the end. Imagine if Zest came back. That'd be sick. I think Zest is the one player who's really never going to make a reappearance. He really just was ready to move on, I think. Obviously, I said this earlier, but I'll just reiterate. Obviously, Trap, you might be like, oh my god, Trap's back. Yeah, he played the WardiTV Cup, and he's actually been laddering a lot. Like I say, he played like 40 games straight the other day. He's in RSL this season as well, apparently. So, yeah, Trap seems to be back a little bit, which is really nice. Trap really was a player who just was like, one day he's just like, you know what, there's no tournaments to play in, I'm gone. But, yeah, he didn't do great in WardiTV Cup, but kind of cool to see him practicing, and, I mean, taking down herO in a PvP is really impressive. I mean, playing Nightmare as well. Nightmare's also a player who's been a little bit on and off with playing, so it's really cool that one of these guys is going to make the finals of a WardiTV Monday Cup. It's, really pretty wild in my eyes. Really pretty wild. Take a few moments. Twilight Cancel, a couple of stalks in the Warp Gate coming about. Trap's feeling the competitive urge again after Do Your Cup. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, you're someone as good as Trap, you already have that baseline level to be extremely good. Like I say, he's been playing a lot. He played like 40 games on ladder the other day on Europe. Dude is on the grind, it would seem, as the blink starts up much sooner here from Nightmare. Five Stalkers against 4 Stalkers, 2 Sentries. So the 2 Sentries is the gas that causes the blink to be later on the side of Trap. Well, that blink's about halfway done from Nightmare. Things will start up soon. As that blink is done, you'd imagine we get a little bit of activity coming about. This station comes back in, a couple of Stalkers going to be there. The Stalkers in the center is going to be there. Push that hallucination back once more. Stalkers and sentries will come to the front again. Third base comes into position. So with the faster blink, we'll be the first to expand to a third base. Am I going to start poking? Trap. I mean, Trap has a good amount of units. He has good force fields here, but like I say, Blink's done from Nightmare. It's nice he trapped the sentries in, but he just doesn't seem to be able to compete far enough forward to hit those sentries. Couple Stalkers going to fight. Couple Stalkers going back the other way. We go back and forth. Couple more Stalkers hitting still. Stalker still fighting that Adept, taking a bit more damage. Resonating Glaives and the Stalker still coming through, that charge coming up. Handful of moments again, Resonating Glaives, the Adept's coming by, charge and the Stalker's coming into place. As units will gather, again, observe it, joining, charging the +1 still builds. Trap gets his own third up. Numbers are looking good for him. He's going to go Glaives. I haven't seen Glaives as much on this patch, but I don't think there's a reason it should be worse. Glaives is just very good, especially as your opponent first hits charge, you know, starting to see those early Zealots and so on. Glaives can really punish that kind of position. Usually the downside of Depths is that they scale. I mean, Archons are basically the big baddies of this matchup, right? Once Archons are out, Zealots and Adepts start to drop much more quickly, but you still have to build like that front line of Zealots. Once a good amount of Archons are up, these Adepts will not do anywhere near as much, and they just scale much worse later into the game. You know, you typically would rather have the yeah. I guess you would rather have the You'd rather have Zealots as the game goes on. Their mobility and the ability to surround a little bit is nice. And we see the charge is going to finish very shortly. Resonating Glaives, the Adepts and the Gates continue to build in. Stalker's getting pushed back. We pull away a few moments. Push up. Just going to see the Guardian Shield coming into place there. We deny that. We deal with it. Just going to see the rest of the Stalkers and the Adepts still pushing through. Taking a few more moments. Stepping forward, Nightmare actually already has the +1 attack upgrade as well, by the way. Also coming down, the Adept's going to put into position. Another Immortal gets caught. The Zealots continue to push forward. The Adepts, this is where the Adepts should be doing great, right, against these Zealots. We've got to win out against these Zealots quickly so we can get onto the Stalkers with the Immortal. Trap supply is not great long term, and not sure if it's enough in general, actually. I mean, he is melting the Zealots, it's just hasn't seemingly been enough. 2 Archons are starting to be morphed in as well, so Nightmare can bring those into the fight. That's going to be huge. Trap has made his way forward just before these Archons are here. Now he really has to get them. The Archons start to swing. The Adepts take damage. I think Nightmare is holding on against this attack. Let's see, though, if the last few moments change anything. The Adepts are falling. Looks as though Nightmare has this. He can blink forward and chase the Prism as well, and the Immortal as well, so it's very hard to evacuate anything out of here and to bring anything truly home, because the next blink kills the Prism. Okay, well, he actually shot the Stalkers, but he could have killed the Prism, I think. Trap supply not looking good anymore. Just lost too much in this. He's still warping in aggressively. It's been down an upgrade, and that is not changing. This attack has not been what it needed to be. Going to see that's all going to go wrap around a couple of moments. So if he's coming around, he's going to be having the fight again from Trap. I mean, he's going to make another good go of it. I just don't think he's got the power, especially with the Archons here. It really shuts down so much of the Adept power that Trap is reliant on for success, basically, right now. So I think that's going to be about it. GG's. Nightmare takes game number 1. And we will have Nightmare up a game against Trap. Already in the money, though, is kind of cool. Like I said, Trap making top 4, taking herO out on his way is very cool. As yeah, we head for game 2. Winner will play a Classic in the finals today. And that's ready to rumble. Do-do-do-do-do. Waiting for game number 2, guys. Not sure what the map is. Wait for the players to host it for us, though. Yeah, thanks for joining us today, guys. Good to see you all. Unfortunately, a bit of PvP to end the day on, but alas, that is sometimes the way of things. It's definitely the way of things today as we work our way through. Waiting for everyone to be ready, and it just looked like we're going to be set to go, guys. So countdown is on. Trap Nightmare game 2 coming up as we speak. Bring this straight into play, and we are going to be off and away. So again, thanks for sticking with us a little. About ready to go in the next few moments. Let's get this send. Rainfall for map number 2 as leading the series. In the top left-hand corner is going to be the red Protoss player Nightmare. Trap in that bottom right side, looking to bounce back in this series. Down a game. And we have game 2 here on Rainfall. Let's see what the opening looks like, see what sort of build we get to start us off. Okay, it's similar kind of bat probes all building through. What's up, Bert the Hurt? Thank you so much for the 5-month resub on the Prime. Yay, SE2. Hell yeah, thank you so much for priming us up. Number of probes coming around. Second gates in the cyber cores finishing. Couple of stalkers, couple of the adepts coming through, so we're going to see a different opening in terms of the units here with the 2 adepts on one side and the 2 stalkers coming around the other. One adept. I'm just going to shade through. Is going to jump onto the probe. Probe is going to go down already. Again, the robo facility coming up. The warp gate's on the way in. The stalker's still building over. Yeah, that robo from Trap then going to be kind of aggressive. Obviously, robos build. I mean, 3-gate robo is very powerful now because you can also build a pile on the map to warp in from if you want to. Obviously, this robo is just right back at home. It is going to be. Is it just 3 gates straight up from Nightmare? It is. So this should be very good for Trap because he's getting tech and there shouldn't really be much damage you can do here as Nightmare. I guess straight up 3-gate pressure is being built because obviously you need a pylon, you don't need to proxy one of the gateways nowadays, so... But yeah, with Trap going for a robo and straight to an immortal, you'd be looking very good here right now. Bird's gonna nibble, pylon will take the more damage. Mortal in the warp gate coming up. The Stalkers and the Adepts going to step forward. Stalkers already getting pushed back the other way. Couple of Adepts going to be there. That's going to be nice getting a catch already. From Nightmare's point of view, Trap loses a couple units, has to recall. That's the other thing Trap's going to be fine defensively. Nightmare's goal at this point is to probably more or less break onto this Immortal and just have enough Stalks to kind of shoot it down quickly. Stargate behind it could be interesting to kind of lift up some of the robo units and take them out of the equation as well. If we just go Phoenix with that. This one comes down, the other unit's going to set up. A couple of forces coming in. Good defense so far by Trap, staying alive. More going to be there. Stalkers too. He's going to put some pressure onto those other 2 Stalkers. The next is about to finish from Trap, by the way. Probe still nibbling at the pile in the corner. The Stalker's still pushing up from Nightmare. Continue to come across right now as we just have the Sentry warping in from Trap as well. But obviously, I say warping in, obviously it's still good. This is the thing as well. Defensively speaking, these builds are... The build that Trap's doing now is better too because you don't have to morph in the warp gates. You can just build units and they arrive very quickly. So defensively, you get a lot of units out. The only thing that's slightly awkward about this and kind of like too many, too many good things are kind of a problem, I guess, is that if he drops a force here, that would be great, but he doesn't get it. obviously, the interesting thing here is that there is a point where it's like you're able to build so many gateway units that it does slow down your tech if you just keep spamming units. But then at the same time, like, it's not bad to spam units, so it's kind of a choice you make of when do you not make a unit and you actually build some tech up instead. It just happens a lot more. It just is kind of building units a lot more easily done now defensively. Mortal's going to get lifted. Just going to see the Phoenix diving in. Stalker's going to get there. Mortal number 1 going down. Continue to fight. Gets a sentry. Stalker taking some shots also. Stalker stepped through. Sentry taking some damage. Stalker the Immortal once again. The Phoenix still coming through. So to be seen, Trap is taking some losses. The Phoenix absolutely gets some value here. Sentries on the way from Trap still playing defensive, but I mean, Nightmare's expanded at this point. He's still 4 workers down, still has the map control at least as Trap re-walls at the high ground. A couple more sentries pop out. He's gonna have a lot of force field energy. Again, interested as to how much these Phoenix can do overall. As we've seen them actually have some pretty good lifts so far. Looking for a few extra here very soon, I'd imagine. It's gonna be seeing the Gateway, Mortal. Well, the Probe still coming about as well. Hallucination moves out again. Stalker pulls back a couple seconds. 2 gateways, the Immortal and so still coming around. The Adepts are going to shade one more time. Just clearing out Hallucination. Nightmare still staying on the front doorstep. He's now going to go Glaives. Which is kind of nice because I don't think Trap's necessarily going to have like an anti-Glaives unit up for quite a while. There's no Twilight Council at all from Trap, so he's a long way away from Archons. Who has the advantage? It's pretty even. 2 very different circumstances. I think I'm starting to like Nightmare's position a lot more, because to me, Nightmare has the tech behind him, like the Twilight Council upgrades. That said, this is a great fight, and not having the Twilight Council upgrades yet means you are going to chew through a bunch. I guess that's actually really interesting, is obviously I see the Glaives and maybe I oftentimes think, okay, Glaives is going to be good for us here, but the lack of Blink is actually terrifying. Because Blink usually gives you so much potential. Trap has a massive army supply lead. A lot of these units going down from Trap from Nightmare as he harasses. And obviously these Phoenix against a good Stalker count maybe don't do that much either. Stepping into the natural, you see the batteries showing that Nightmare is in some trouble. We are going to dive the Prism, which should just go down. Benefit of the Phoenix. Should be able to come back through here. The first Immortal lifted. I mean, now the Phoenix have to go deal with the Immortals. In this time, 20 probes have already gone down. Trap opened up a 13-worker lead. Probably doesn't escape from here with everything, but he's going to do some pretty good damage before he goes. He's going to be down on army supply, sure, but down on army supply, ahead on workers by a significant margin. As he does start a Twilight. That's my biggest issue, is that now Trap has basically no tech at all. Before, at least he had the Immortals in his army, but now he really has nothing. It'll be interesting to see what he chooses to rebuild here. Stalker's push up. Adept's going to try and run in over on the bottom side. Pylon holding the wall for a few more moments. He's going to go down. This is a nice counterattack from Nightmare. He kills 11 probes there immediately as the damage and advantage that Trap gave himself just undone immediately. What's up, Apple G72? Thank you for the 31-month resub as Trap is in the process of dying. This is a lot of damage done by these Adepts. Trap 2-0'd herO today, guys, so obviously was definitely feeling good in PvP, but this one was not quite it. Nightmare gonna shuffle his way into a final. Has Nightmare been in a Monday final before? I want to say no. And I am incorrect. He's been in 2 Monday Cup finals. Edition 48 and 53. Lost to herO, lost to Max packs in both of those. Yeah, Nightmare looking for his first ever Monday Cup win against one of the Titans of the Mondays in Classic. The weakest of the Titans, though. herO, Max packs, and Clem are definitely the big three. Classic is very much so standing on his own in 4th place. Nightmare will challenge in his 3rd attempt of a Monday Cup Finals to take the victory if he secures this game, which it was looking good for. It's still looking pretty good. He's going to be slightly later to blink, but he's got more units. He's on the map. I mean, to be fair, the one bad fight, Nightmare is not necessarily winning this still. But I do think he has the advantages at the moment, so we'll sit with that right now. Nexus goes down, battery as well. Stalker's coming through, next coming to Bow Blink on the way. Stalker's going to be there, Observer going to get taken out, a couple of depths stepping forward. And step back a few moments as well. Dep's going to be fighting here for these Stalkers. Going to get warped in defensively. Nightmare still holding the supply lead. Trap is shoving, as Nightmare is very quick to jump on top of these units. He has a stasis ward a bit further back he could utilize, but he just doesn't care. He's actually got healthier Stalkers as well, so Trap's numbers should start falling very quickly here. As you can just see, the Stalkers are super low. Trap wanders backwards. He has Blink, but I felt like he was very late to use that Blink though, as well. Yeah. Nightmare is looking to make his 3rd WardiTV Monday final. A player who has been on and off in terms of just playing StarCraft in general, and hence taking part in the Monday Cups. Has definitely been pat back a little bit with this recent patch. And he's looking to take himself into, like I said, today's finals of the Monday Cup. A few Stalkers going to get caught in a stasis ward. And Stalker still poking forward. GG gets called and Nightmare takes game number 2 of this BO3. Alright, Nightmare Classic finals coming up then. PvP continues with a best of 5 up next. I'll be heading into that in just a few moments, guys. Get this ready to go. Yeah, that's ready to go very soon. Perfect. Alright, we'll wait for them to get videoed up, guys, and we'll get ready to send this very soon. And some ads. And like I say, it's going to be Classic versus Nightmare to wrap us up today. Beautiful. Oh, my headset's really not comfortable on me today. I don't know why. Don't know why. Do 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 do. Ba ba ba. Ba 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 ba. Hope everyone is doing well. It's not Monday, I know, guys. I'm sorry. I was traveling back from home Story Cup yesterday. Forgive my slacking. Shouldn't have gone to work the StarCraft event is the mistake I made. How are we to know, though? How are we to know? Monday part 2, Tuesday. Ay. It's gonna be one moment while we finish these videos, guys. Be right back. Final time here is in the top right corner of the map. I'm going to start things off with the Red Pros player Nightmare in his third ever WardiTV Monday final. Looking for his first ever victory. While in the bottom left, the Blue Protoss player looking for his 10th victory in the WardiTV Mondays. This is a 17th final. It is a classic. Alrighty, guys. This is a map with a ramp, and Classic is going to look to expand with that here initially. Proby coming around, nibbling at some of the probes. Take a few moments, Cybercore on the gate, continue to come up. 2 gates up. Classic is just throwing the expansion down. I'm super intrigued. Does Nightmare go for like a breakthrough? In theory, this is not really the time you break through, right? Because it's the ramp on the natural. There's a reason why Classic is expanding the way he is. Still, can the Adept continue to come up? Let's see the Pro moving around again. Rope Facility coming up next on the way. Adept in the Warp Gate coming up as well. Just gonna see the Adept in the store continue to come around, so we take a few more moments, get this settled. See where else we go. Store coming around. Just gonna have the Stalker gonna poke. The Adept is gonna take some damage again. Gateway, Warp Gate coming through. Rope Facility on its way as well. And a few bits and pieces around in that regard as Stalker just gonna continue to poke. Nightmare is sending this with the additional gateway finishing soon. So 3 gates. An attempt to break through. Like I say, you don't have to proc the gateway with this anymore. So if you do kind of do okay and then get pushed back, you don't lose a gate out on the map. But otherwise, this is very similar to how it used to be. In concept, at least, as we are going to have Force Field available here. These units are in the front right now. Obviously, again, one of the benefits from Classic is you can keep building units constantly out of those gateways, and that will do you know, do a lot of work for you. And see if you can get enough up, as the numbers are already looking good for Nightmare as he pokes up at the front, already starting to punch his way forward. Still put some damage out. We get pushed away a little bit. Only 1 pylon. Yeah, that is a little dangerous if it gets identified. I would say that it's probably a situation, though, where there's obviously the batteries that can heal the pylon up as well, so it's not an easy thing just to kind of commit to clicking. And it's obviously not easy to identify that that's the case either right now, as again, a few Stalkers are going to poke. That Warp Gate still taking damage. Immortal going to be there. Going to continue to fight as we are going to see the Stalkers pushing on through. Going to jump onto this Immortal. Immortal goes down already. Just going to be having the Observer gathering around with everything else. And those few Stalkers pulling back over to the corner. Just going to be getting out of here for a couple more moments as well. Not interested in sticking around on that one right now. Spacing the Immortal still gathering. Again, those few Stalkers still getting beaten up on. Extra Stalkers warping in. Just going to be seeing the Stalker still pushing through. Prism lifting the Immortal back. It's just too much though, isn't it? Nightmare, I think, has the numbers here. We are going to save the Immortal one more time, but it's just not going to be the support we need. The Immortal falls, Classic dies, and this game gets wrapped up just like that. Okay, clean up the rest of this. This really is about all they wrote, I think. Else to be added at the moment. Just going to be seeing some more pulling back. The Adepts are going to get there as well. At this point, Nightmare just has too much. I mean, there's going to be another mole popping. And the 3 Stalkers, well, 5 Stalkers on the low ground need to come up this ramp to kind of help with this, but I still think we're going to be alright overall. GG's. Nightmare is going to take game number 1. So the underdog takes the opening map of this finals as Classic's attempt to expand quickly does not work out on that one. All right, game 2 in a few moments. You guys get this ready to go. It's ready to go. Into some action. At Eternity's Edge going to be our map. And we'll head into game 2 in just a few moments. Be a beautiful. Countdown is on. Go being called. What's up, Paul? How you doing? Thank you for the 35-month resub. WardiTV is a hub of innovation, striving to redefine the cutting edge of what can be considered a Monday. I mean, you know, have a weekend of StarCraft 2. Can't just have a Monday straight after that, you know? Yay. Bottom right corner to start us off will be the player, the underdog, taking the lead, looking for his first ever WardiTV Monday victory. This is Nightmare. In the top left, Blue Protoss is going to be Classic. Getting set up for a couple seconds. Take a few moments. Follow ourselves a probe or two. Just get settled in for a couple seconds. Getting this rolling early on. Two gameways each this time around. Not going to go for that early expansion this time, so a little bit of a different approach there. Just to what we saw previously. Let's see. No ramp up onto the base. I mean, that didn't exactly save Classic this time. So he's not going to expand as quickly this time around. It just makes sense, right? Nothing too crazy about that. Nothing too crazy about that at all. Simulator will finish through. Again, the gate's coming up. That cyber core coming into place. I'm going to start a couple stalkers as well. Bring those into play already. Let's see how we'll get. Again, the two depths will continue to gather around. And taking a few moments if nothing else as we sell this in. A couple stalkers, the adepts all building by then. Continue to bring that about. Continue to get this on the go. Yeah, two stalkers coming up behind this as well. Coming through with that right now, so again, getting that set up a little bit. We do have ourselves the, again, couple stalkers working their way to the far left-hand side. Well, Dev's going to pull back. I mean, we have the next coming up on the natural here. Once again, it's going to be Nightmare. Looking to be aggressive, but it's a much easier, it's a much calmer expansion this time around by Classic in the first place. So that definitely makes a difference. Definitely makes you feel a little better about how this sets up. Stalker's going to start walking through Nightmare. We're going to cut these off, and he is actually going to be able to kill one. Now, does he lose the Stalker himself? Pretty good control across the board. Stalker front depth in this game so far. Classic needs to back it up because obviously the numbers is about to start rising pretty heavily here in the next few moments. So, time to pull back and to make sure we're in a nice, safe place. So Nightmare is obviously trying to push it in. Don't think he really has the numbers just yet, but at the same time, to be fair, the batteries are on the way up, so pushing in early is not necessarily a bad idea. More of these Stalkers pull back over the other side, so again, just pulling themselves away from this at the moment and start fighting once more. So yeah, what's up, by the way, NG Renko? Thank you so much for the 11-month resub on the Prime. You're the best caster. Thanks for your efforts in sharing StarCraft. Thank you so much for the kind words. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching some games today with us as well. Appreciate it. Just going to shade away. Drops off fire, a couple more sentries coming up, the probe and the battery coming into play as well. And Dep's going to try and shade once again. Stepping over here, still going down. Nightmare's expanding, obviously he's not done as much with this as he wanted. So we'll get there, a couple of Dep's getting caught. Stalkers, couple sentries is going to knock down that pylon. Just having the Stalker stepping through, the couple sentries coming about. And again, the robo facility. And Dep's coming by. Force field onto the ramp for a couple moments as well. And hallucination coming through. Twilight Council will be done soon from Nightmare, but Classic has survived, and obviously slightly faster economy setup from him. And it's showing right now the 6-worker lead from Classic. He's a little behind on the Twilight Council timing, but he already has the Robo up and building an Observer, for example, so he's going to get some value from that already being invested into. It's generally a benefit as well. Dep just come across, a couple of these probes continue to go down. This is really nice from Classic, just gets a ton of work as this puts the pressure on Nightmare. After a failed start into now taking a ton of damage, you're just going to be in trouble, I think, is the way it is. And that blink is coming around. Just going to see the next coming up. Having the battery and so coming into play as well. Blink's going to be done soon from Nightmare, but man, does he have work to do. Catching up on the work deficit is going to be rough. He's down an entire base, so this is like a must-win kind of attack right here, which is obviously really just not an ideal situation at all. Not kind of the position you want to be in, quite frankly. Five more probes going down for Nightmare as this game continues to just run out of whack for him. Does not seem to be going great in the slightest, so getting the feeling that this one is very quickly, like I say, kind of falling away from us here. As we are going to be seeing the Classic just going to take the big fight into the army as well. He is seemingly absolutely happy to do this and can absolutely understand why as well. I think this makes a ton of sense. Yeah, I think this is a game that is looking more over than not, guys, unfortunately. Well, Nightmare still kind of holding on, but there's the Immortal here now as well, which also is not exactly going to make you feel good. It's GG. It was indeed looking more over than not. Fear Dragon, thank you so much for the 126-month resub. Unbelievable scenes from Fear Dragon. The best supporter we've seen in the last 30 seconds. Crazy stuff. We're doing well, Ravi. As we get ready for Game 3 then. It's all tied up here between Classic and Nightmare in this final. Game 3 will be hosted up in a few moments. We'll get that ready to go, go, go. Let's run the ads. What's up, Anka? How you doing as well? Nice to meet you this weekend. Hope you had a great Home Story Cup. I was just saying this before. It's so cool to meet people for the first time still in 2026. As Rainfall is going to be our map 3. All tied up in this final. Into this next game in just a few moments. Countdown is on. Like I say, guys, we'll be good in a second to send this. Into Rainfall. In the top left-hand side will remain our underdog. It is going to be the Red Protoss player Nightmare, as he looks for an upsetting win today. He takes on the Blue Protoss bottom right corner Classic Nightmare. A couple of 3 gates in a row. We'll see what happens this time. Game 3 then. Nightmare not able to get the aggression he needed to last time out. So we'll switch it up here. A bit more action going. See what happens here very soon. Yeah, stay into the 2 gate setup here from Nightmare and from Classic as well, so they're both going to go for the same setup as each other on that. We'll settle in for a moment or two. Gateway is going to finish at the front from Nightmare. Classic, yeah, not going to fast expand any longer, it would seem. Surrogate was awesome. Got tickets for the next one also. Hell yeah, man. The next one's gonna be crazy. All the expected more. Hell yeah. Nice, nice, nice. Pro's gonna chase around. Couple stalks in the Wolf Gate coming up. And it's gonna have ourselves the Stalker Adept on the side of Nightmare. Will we see Nightmare going for a faster expand this time instead of aiming for the aggression? Chasing, centering the Wolf Gate, still coming through. A couple more Stalkers staying in production as well, just for the moment here. Pope coming back around again, a couple Stalkers of Nightmare coming up, a couple sentries on the way from Classic, the Wolf Gate's building through. See a couple of sentries are going to be there, pushing around. And leads to death. So yeah, a couple of work kills, nothing too major. Nexus coming up from both players, so we're expanding on both sides at the moment. Getting that started immediately. Let's see how hallucination coming through. Twilight Council is about to finish again. Next is the Robo facility coming up, so we're seeing the difference in tech choices here. Nightmare into the Blink, Classic into the more kind of big unit defensive style of the Robo. You get those Immortals built up, you're just able to kind of hold back a lot more. Eventually you end up with a very strong army that has pushing potential as well, but you're not going to have map control against the Blink player in the early stages. That much we already need to know. So what's up, Jeff? Thank you so much for the 67-month resub on the Prime. We need to let the meta develop. Seems so, man. Look at the Pros players. They're killing it now. 2 Pros in the finals today. I mean, we only had 1 Zerg. And obviously PvT, I think. The general consensus is PvT is tougher for Terran than it was before. As what we've heard, obviously, maybe still some stuff to be figured out there, but the general concept of that matchup hasn't changed too much, just the ways in which it gets to that point are a little different than previously. Stalk is going to push Adept into getting caught, so Nightmare not going to find much more damage with those. Now Classic actually having a couple of his Stalkers caught. This is actually nice from Nightmare. He's about to have Blink too. So I'm going to say I think it's worth just blinking to clean these up quickly and get it over with so we can continue pushing in the front. And Stalkers gather around, resonating glaives. It will continue to come through the gate, and the Immortal coming around. The Stalker's ready to hop up into the main. Taking a bit more damage. Just going to be seeing the Stalkers doing what they can. Actually going to jump on that Immortal, kills it off. Oh, I love the force fields though. That's a lot of Stalkers. That was not a free pick-off at all. We'll get a few probes, and in a moment we're going to have to drop the recall if Nightmare wants to have a way out of here. Or is he just going to try and blink his way away? I mean, he might be able to blink out to the top right, save the recall. And then blinks into recall. Then I think he should just recall a bit sooner, because he already lost a bunch of Stalkers. I think saving an extra couple actually would have done you some real favors overall. Yeah, a little bit of a shame on that one. We're still producing resonating glaives on the way. Just going to see Stalkers, sentries poking over to the sides. Is this a best of 3? Nope, best of 5. People keep saying it'll take 2 to 3 months for the meta to develop. But yeah, I mean, usually it does take. I mean, meta constantly develops at the end of the day, right? Like, you know, even months and months and months after the previous patch, things are still changing. Still think there's a lot to be said about initial instincts and reactions and kind of how things feel right off the bat, though, as well, you know? Are force fields now destroyable objects? No, I mean, you can corrosive bile them now. It reduces their time by half, but to be fair, force fields were already destroyable by like Archons and stuff before. We're just going to get the pylon here, trying to shut down the potential warpings of Classic as he starts to step forward. Good couple of force fields here, some units will fall. I mean, Classic is on this glaives, but no blinks. It doesn't have as much of the mobility, but does have the 4 mortals to power it up, and obviously we'll have the Adepts up in front to tank as well. Trading through these mortals, putting in work already. Nightmare's going to pull the probes. He's up by 14 workers. He's on a 3rd base, but Classic is not, so, you know, pulling the probes to survive this is not a bad idea. As long as you do survive it, now that the Prism's gone, Micro will dissipate. However, we're going to be in a situation where more Adepts are warping in against the Pro Pull. That's obviously going to be great and fantastic. The unit's still fighting through. One more Mortal goes down. Nightmare trying to back it up. Force Field going to help to eat this Immortal alive, and Classic is starting to get it done here in a must-win situation for him because he's, you know, must win now because he's obviously not got a 3rd base or anything. He has to do serious damage. He's starting to get there. looking as though he's getting it done. Yeah, let's continue to go. And Classic at this point has 40 more army supply, pretty big factor. This is a lot of pros going down. Nightmare is going to be dead here in this game 3. GG's. Classic 2, Nightmare 1, and this best of 5. Alright, Classic needs one more map to win his 10th ever WardiTV Monday. That will come up in a few moments. Isn't Classic way better than Nightmare? I think Classic's a favorite. Way better is... I mean, yes, his results are way better, but I think Nightmare's absolutely got chances to win this series. But yeah. Alright, lobby is coming up, guys. Alright, let's go. Game 4 is here, and it is match point now for the Blue Protoss player who'll be starting us off in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. This is Classic. As in the top right, our Red Protoss. It's Nightmare. Why do people hate Classic? I don't think people hate Classic. Who's hating Classic? Alright, game 4 of the series. Let's see if Nightmare can get us tied back up here in Monday's 94 finals. Rope throws the assembler down. Alright then, gates coming about, probes coming over. Cyber cores will be already on the way as well. So bring those cyber cores up, get them into place again. The gates coming through, probes building. I'm just going to have our probe come across the pylon for a little bit. Classic's turn to be the proxier and the aggressor. The proxy will be a robo facility, so Classic definitely trying to bring the aggro to win this series and win this Monday Cup. Stalker coming over. probe being chased. Stargate on the way right now for Nightmare. I mean, Stargate defensively should be pretty good for you here. Depends if you can get stuff up in time. Depends what you set up to as well. Obviously, Phoenix is specifically the one thing that's probably very good. Six workers going down is such a good start as well from Classic. I mean, if you're going to be the aggressor, killing 6 workers right off the bat's going to make your opponent's defense that much tougher. First Immortal is out. Prism on the way. Extra gateway coming up as well. We get that ready to go. They are making Phoenix at least, so the Phoenix can come in, it can lift the Immortal. There's not enough Andy to necessarily stop it. And Nightmare gets the counter-attacking with his own 2 Adepts. Battery finished up, so the target fire has to be good. Out of sync already. Still out of sync, unfortunately. Those Adepts are not getting the kills they should be. Finally, they get 2, now 3, and should be at least 4. But the micro is not perfect there from Nightmare, unfortunately. He is now poking on the other side of the map. He's going to lift the sentries. Oh, that's... I was going to see, that was a great force field, but it wasn't actually perfectly placed. Maybe a great force field to protect the sentries and to keep them alive, but actually it's a bit out of position. We're going to kill 1 gateway now. I feel like Classic's having a good start at this, guys. Oh, and that's just perfect. Now these Stalkers are stuck. You can't save them. They're getting clunked on. And that's going to be a ton of units going down. Nightmare bleeding out at the moment. Not having a good time so far. One more Stalker warping in, and they're going to come pushing through a little bit here. Force fields, once again. I mean, we could Elevator up. I guess Elevator up is very scary with the Phoenix. It's a nice try to put a little bit of aggression into this. Then 3 Stalkers going to be coming through. The Immortal getting poked at. Just going to see this gateway taking a few more shots. The lift up and the Voider out, so that Immortal's going to die, so there goes some of the power that Classic had. I mean, that said, he's killing a bunch of probes again as the Adepts get into the mineral line, and nothing really responds apart from the probes for little bits. That's minus 8 workers once more. Classic extending on his lead. And his army right now is just Stalker Sentry, but again, you don't really need to do much more here. You've done a great amount. You're going to take an expansion. The only downside is you don't have much tech at home either, but we start up the Blink instead, so we got that ready to go. More units coming through. Couple of Stalkers. Welcome about. Just going to be seeing the Phoenix. Still going to be there. Nice force field again. Just going to catch a Sentry, and the Stalker's doing a good job of that one. Classic is still just getting so many kills. Nightmare is feeling desperate to break out of this already, which is not exactly going well for him here. Some Phoenix lifting up the Sentry. I mean, it's nice to get a Sentry, but the Phoenix very nearly went down. It didn't, though. That's why Classic may need to reconsider pulling back himself. That's not a great time for lag. His Nightmare is kind of just dying still. With everything going down. The Stalkers continue to fight, pulling up the last few units. Shutting this down. GG's. Classic is going to take it in this series. Alright guys, WardiTV Mondays 94. Classic's 10th victory in the Monday Cups. Congrats to him. Cool to see Nightmare making the finals again. Cool to see Trap knocking down herO. But very Protoss heavy cup ends with PvP and hence a Protoss victory. The Mondays are back. Mondays are back like never before. Beautiful. Alright, don't really have anything else to say, guys. I think we're just gonna wrap it up. I'm not here the next few days, guys. I got some IRL stuff to do the next few days, basically. So I will not be here. I will not be here Wednesday. Wednesday and Thursday I've got IRL stuff to handle. But then on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday I'm away for Helen's birthday. So unfortunately I'm not here until this time next week, basically. So thanks for hanging out with us on the one day that we could hang out. And we'll be back for WardiTV Mondays on a Tuesday again next week. Like I say, not really anything else to say. We're just going to wrap it up there. I'll see you guys in a week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.